says it's, yep, we're good. Okay. On the screen? Okay. Yes. Yeah, yes, USB
Oh, I thought that
controls.
was awesome. I go.
Oh, she's in executive session. And executive session.
Yep.
Show hide full screen.
The sad thing is that those things,
So it says begin executive session, end executive session, camera PIP, PowerPoint PIP.
that's why people do it. And Jim mentioned that.
Okay. All right, I did.
Can you,
Yep. Oh, down, but. Yeah, I know. There it goes. Okay, we're good. Okay.
Well, because some people are doing a good job of holding down costs.
It doesn't matter.
Well,
If you don't do it across the board, then I'm gonna say it's not fair, and it is not fair.
Okay.
People
My bad.
do a good job.
it needs to be,
No problem.
it needs to be. It needs to be fair that people are doing a good job, and it needs to be not fair that people are. And that's what
Who's gonna make that?
the first part of the meeting is
Yeah,
we're going to.
I think whenever they went outside, they
Well,
talked about
Well, I noticed, right when they went to executive session, it was,
They should.
I think it's
Commissioner
stopped.
Milbert's going to go.
oh, it just stopped.
It looked like it stopped.
Oh,
I was thinking nobody was going.
And they're online, you can watch it. So I don't know if the commissioners are watching. But, we have people that are just tight, and they're not spending anything, and they hold the line. So if we just cut 10% off. If they believe that they have done a good job.
And I totally agree with this, that we it just ties your hands. I understand, but that doesn't mean you can't be ready.
That's the goal, that's what we gotta get. I mean, that's gotta be the goal every year, but unfortunately, it wasn't.
I don't think 10% increase, and there's been years when they raised. And they said, yeah, but you
kind of, sort of.
and anything with the tax, 10% because of valuations.
Less valuation, sales tax, and.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. But again, I look at those core budget priorities, and that's where the real control is, and that's where you need to ratchet down the budget. Those other things you can't control.
But he says,
That's what I mentioned. The Southeast schools I've already seen what you said, yes. I do, because there's policy and organization. No, no, I mean, really.
We all have charities that we support.
I'll be 69.
Or what families do.
I went in today.
Why do you do this? It works with NGOs. And that's what those, waited through the last 9 months.
Service the lawn, loaded it.
And found,
They just threw it.
and found trees.
And moved the grass from the right.
So,
We've got to rethink what government does. The government needs to
yeah,
what?
needs to do less.
yep, the government needs to run like a business.
That's why they need your 5%.
My grandson moved the back of West.
What's my,
My brother hired him to move. He bought it, he
But they're,
you got.
No, I wanna go back out and watch.
he was.
But I have to come in.
And show him the nerve. Right now,
Here's, here's the pressure they feel, like, for example, soil conservation. 95 counties give to soil conservation. So we'd be the first county to come there, you know, that's the peer pressure.
I'd say, I'm sorry. But I'm worried about the peer pressure of the police. I'm worried about the peer pressure when I go to the airport.
I'm in favor of making travel contributions.
So what they paid me, I showed shit for this. They didn't take us out on the fees. I wouldn't see that. And when I ran the big facility, I took in, took in stripped took everything out of the classroom. I stripped it all the way down. Come back and waxed it and everything. All of them.
You're gonna get
And damn sergeant major went down there and we, you know, I set the standard. I just this you have their class. 3 years.
I'm sitting here wondering how many NGOs are we funding?
Then when it was all said and done, the people used in the classroom, my staff told me, people were saying, I saw to watch.
slash.
Every time they told me I couldn't use it, he said I couldn't do it. Two regimes before me,
Committee.
I think it was still coming over, the first thing I asked is, what I did not miss their job, and all staff.
We should extend it against.
You know, sitting for a while, but it'd be about 3 months or 6 months. It wasn't the highest priority of my agenda. I think I had a lot of issues and stuff. About 6 months, I think it'll stepping out. It's like here. You just stop. You know, copy machine. I can see what they're doing. Have you put on it? That we have leasing, you know, your lease. That's the cost for it. They had, in the estimates. And so I went up to the criminal.
To be final.
It would be more cost effective to fix that. Go do it. I said, I am limited in my budget here. And, but I know what the money is. And he says, well, go get your supervisor. So she asked me, paid for it. But I do that.
Just looking for a report that all these matters together.
That's why I feel like it's kind of the one.
And they supply me.
As you can tell, this is one of my cleaner things.
This is what I put on there in mine.
And it's totally different than any, you know what I'm saying?
49, they put it on Facebook. Which was a gift, half a mile wide. And it was in person every day. And then I found out that they were one of the print shop. I took their strategy. Dropped my list and they were, you know, and I said, well, I want to go find so they said, all copies won. You know, it wasn't a week or two later, they called me and that was, you'll be over there, this, for all bags. And then I turned over this show like this. I said, now it's to get so slow on it. If you try to do 2/3, take the part off. And getting people saying she was
One of those, down along the side of the seat, hiding places.
I put mine on my lap and then get out of the car and drop it that way.
I had Italian reserves. I had 350 on the site. I had a congressional delegation. Yeah, she's the one just out there, like, this morning. So, like, they watched
At
every
some
Sunday.
point,
Think about driving home, drinking before it just gets him off my back.
he's a man with a-
Oh,
He
yeah.
is.
Yeah, I'm like a bulldog, I
I'm
won't
not gonna
let go.
sleep all week.
Oh, you just email it to her.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You want an email address?
You got my cell number?
No?
Text me your email address. You don't have my. I don't have yours either. What's your name again?
Fred,
Jackson.
Yeah.
Tim and Ann Anderson? Is that it? 7280? Okay, I'll send you my contact info. Email, which has an email. Email me. Yeah, I can put it on this contact here. Edit it.
if you tell two friends, then they'll tell two friends. They won't all be wearing pantyhose. You don't remember that commercial, do you?
No. And we'll all be what?
Wearing pantyhose.
Oh.
There's a commercial back in the 70s.
Probably have a scanning
You're not
environment.
that damn old.
Huh? Yeah. Or the 60s.
Okay, Tim, what's your
I'm
email?
one of the 1940.
I'm sure they do. Just
I'm
need
the
to-
50s.
T,
It was the first.
For Tim.
Yeah.
Emerson, EMERSON@CKT.net.
CKT?
Yep.
Dot N. You get your emails on your phone.
And on the computer.
I want to send you a test email. Just to make sure.
Let me pull the string back between it.
yeah. Roll. Got the cups tight.
Did I come through?
Do you wax that stuff?
Oh, it doesn't. I haven't gone out yet. We got our service here.
I'm sure. You're this far away from the county jail.
Cause he was on break for 10 minutes, so he got.
Don't you come over here picking on me. I'm yet trying to figure that out.
I even spelled Emerson.
Do you know how he goes?
Well,
He contaminated the other half.
I can go.
I had instructors that should have been in some high school or college.
Amber Husband.
No, I knew that, but
Because he did good.
She's just
Like, I mean, they made it to,
tired of
I was gonna say, the last 3 years, they just
I
stayed.
had staff that do anything.
She's watching it up close.
he's seen more than I. So what's side of the list?
I read on the weekends personally.
Well,
I don't never was my boss. I mean, I did that. I did that.
She's trying to tell the person looking at those nostrils.
They should tell you,
Skill.
at 7 o'clock on, or
I think she needs a-
Saturday.
She knew what?
Well, he really needs that too. You've got to,
Rumble for certification.
not everybody can act like Donald Trump, they get away with it. Most politicians can't act like that, you know? So,
Yeah, with the control of two of them. I don't know why. They thought they were now.
and a lot of people respect the guy, but that's their knowledge. They think they're kind of on the pop to a lot of folks around here. Most departments rely on them to help them get the budget put together, they didn't know what they're doing, and help them. So they kind of depended on them. Commission started losing cheese, turned over tables, they felt they lost control. I think there's just a right way to go about this. You can make changes and elicit the cooperation of folks. We need to accomplish this.
They put in
Tell them the best way to do that.
many times that I can,
Do you know anything about Monkey Valley?
and we only got 2 weeks from Christmas.
Well, we got enough commission.
And
Sheriff.
we got my place GI
And his
cleaned
interest was set.
and they go to half-day schedule. They expected you to bring in half your staff. One of them, one person on this phone.
Well, I'm talking about ignorance. I can't get this. I don't get this.
And he goes, well, what if they come down and they find out the rest of it's not here? And he says,
Help me here.
I got keys to here to shoot. And what I'm gonna tell you, you're smart enough to say that they went to this place or this place.
Was that, I got here's CKT.
Yeah,
You got 46.
we never got caught.
Thousand.
And my name was on that roster too. So anytime I
So,
can give them time.
I will, when I get home, I will
You can't.
send an email
get
to,
'em-
you got 46,000 in your inbox, and on the top.
Yeah.
You gotta get paid
Should be around the
once
top.
a year, and then and you might get longevity.
So-
Believe it or not, I do, I delete them once in a while.
I agree with you,
With the amount of hours they put in,
when
maybe.
you sheriff in the town, you have to understand.
They was
what's making
complaining
things
about
work.
command sergeant, maybe the vision
You know,
command
just like
sergeant,
when I
maybe
put this
about his
building
son
for the
getting
first
out of
time
the
here.
military.
There's a lot of
And his
good
son,
work.
Mrs. Staff Sergeant, got out of 10
But
years.
culturally, I have to say, you know, in small towns, people are related to people.
And doubles his salary, everything else, less hours.
And I kind of had to figure out, who knows.
Who's related
40
to
hour
it?
week.
Yeah, and if I get rid of that person, who's fixing, who's got the copy machine going, you know, there's only 2 people in the building that know how to do the copy machine. So you've got to kind
I
of
appreciate it.
slow down, you can't just go charging around and turning over tables.
I don't think that's what happened.
A little bit.
No, I don't think that's what happened. I think they bullied the wrong people.
I think that happened too. But, Lucy,
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. I bet it's gotten a lot of people's attention.
but the county's got one. And we're about to do
So let me tell you something. Doing the same thing over and over again isn't very good either.
That's insanity.
Yeah, but you can ratchet it down, you don't have to.
I think they ran it in real quick.
Okay, well,
Pulled her from 2,000 RPM to 1,000 RPM.
how much is IT gonna cost us? We don't know. So why do you get rid of your IT department before you know it's?
No, they gave a quote, $39,000.
Not for the whole thing. It's apples.
But when the boss comes in, and the boss did this all, and the boss comes in and says, we need some information. You know, you go get the card, you go out, you get it. Oh, yeah. So I mean, they didn't get it.
It's not all enough.
Oh, I got a 3-hole puncher. That's awesome. Thank you. Whoever did that.
I move we return to session, no action.
Second.
Tran,
Yes.
Milburn,
Yes.
Billbauer.
Yes. Okay, so next will be old business fence viewing. I had typed up some stuff today. I apologize because my printer is crap. And I didn't get but half of it printed, so I will forward that information. But basically what it requires is that we, as commissioners, if somebody has a dispute over their land, we either designate somebody to be our fence viewers or we do it ourselves. And there's a process.
The
And we have
statute
several.
says that though, don't it?
Huh?
Why do we need like a policy? Because the statute states that. I mean, I've read it.
Well, a lot of counties have a process or a procedure
Okay.
that they follow that requires $7.50 to be paid. I mean, what it says in the statute, but they put it in a procedure.
Okay.
Because we have to designate who we're gonna be, you know, if you're gonna do it, you wanna do it just for your district or your district or my district, because we got several people out there waiting for some type of process to be done here in Bourbon County,
Oh, wow.
so they can have their fence viewed.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
I knew there's one person, I didn't know about others.
Yeah.
I was
There's
always
at
told it was
least
the
three.
commissioners that did it.
Huh?
I was always told it was the commissioners who did it.
Can be commissioners or their designees.
And you're asking for what, sir?
Well, I'm just asking for, what your guys' opinion is on the process. Well, do you want to do it, or
How often do we get that call? How often is there a fence line
like I
dispute?
said, since the first of the year, we've had 3. But we didn't have a process, we didn't have nothing in place.
So who did it?
We haven't done them.
Oh, really? In whose district?
Well, I think there's 1, 2, 3, all 3 districts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
Well, they haven't called back yet, but I'm
Oh.
saying that as soon as there's a process, several of them said they're gonna call back. My thoughts on it is that what happened with the previous commissioners that came in with me, they were all for us doing it, but then they didn't have time to do it. Chairman Weisenhunt said he would assign a designee to go with me to do one, but he didn't have time, because of his full-time job.
Is the designee paid or volunteer?
It's
Or voluntold?
voluntold if they're an employee.
So you could voluntold a county employee to do that? Really?
I would say so.
Does this voluntold employee, is this person trained?
Are we trained?
Well, I will say, no, I'm not trained on that, but I'll tell you what, I'm not gonna go out there and make a decision before I talk to Bob.
Right.
Makes sense? I'll gather information and draft up something and give it to Bob so that he can counsel me.
Can we read this, can we read the statute again? Could you on that pad there bring up the
Do you
fence
have
view?
it?
Yeah, it's on, just fence viewing statute, it comes up quick. Just look it up there.
That's what you should go by. If you're not going to invoke home rule and write your own fence viewing procedures,
Yeah,
just use the statute.
yeah.
I was just say, that's mostly what the counties that I looked at, they're all, they type up a process, but it mirrors what the statute says.
It's just to take care of the people.
If
Yeah,
they
who
don't
has to
accept-
go do
The
it?
landowners don't accept that, they just say, go get a lawyer, is that correct?
It's, yeah, if the
They
commissioners.
don't have to accept your the thing, right?
Well-
Does the statute say you have to accept, that has to be
The
accepted?
statute says in there that they can be billed for the expense of the fence being built. And then they can be taken to district court.
So it says,
One of
what
those
I
was
found was
not.
29-314.
29, it's chapter 29 of the Kansas laws. So then on the second one where it says fence viewing on there, should be 29-105.
Well, you could have given me that, buddy. 29-105. Here's it. Okay. So barbed wire fence deemed legal fence
Is
construction?
that 105?
Yes, sir,
We may try
29.
103 then. Sorry.
That's all right.
I had it earlier.
Come on, Google. It's not playing nice. (29-103).
I think this is a double.
Yeah,
because it's
hang on,
printed
here.
back.
Just send,
Okay, 103.
instead of sending you on wild goose chases.
Chapter 29 fences. There we go. So what do you want to watch? Fence view? Fence
Fence
viewer?
viewing.
Fence viewer.
That's one.
County Commissioner as fence viewer, designee, penalty for neglect of duty, compensation expenses. Which one do you want?
Well, it should be,
Pick.
do the first one.
Look. You
Yeah.
good? First
Yeah,
one?
as fence viewers. That gives you
Okay.
the statute, tells you what
The
you're
Board of
doing.
County Commission of each county in this state or their designee shall be fence viewers in each township of such county. Any action taken by the board pursuant to KSA 29-201 and amendments thereto shall require a majority vote of the Board of County Commissioners. If the board appoints designee to act as fence viewer, any recommendation of such designee shall not be effective unless approved by a majority of the Board of the County Commissioners.
You said townships, that involves a lot
Yeah.
more people than just districts.
Yeah, it says shall be fence viewer in each township of such county. So, is there anything else you want me to look up?
No. I'm just saying is, do you wanna do it, or do you wanna have
Sorry.
designees do it?
I don't have a problem doing it. I mean, do I have to do it in a specific timeline?
Yeah.
Like, does it have to be between the hours of 9 and 10? Or can I
No, no,
just make an appointment with the landowner?
well, yeah, first they gotta file. I mean, that's why I said there is a process,
Gotcha.
but here's the
Did you guys find the statute?
Yeah, I just
kicker.
read it.
Penalty for neglect of duty. Any fence viewer who shall, when requested, unreasonably neglect to view any fence or to perform any duty required of him in this act shall forfeit and pay the sum of $10, and shall also be liable to the party injured for all damages consequent upon
There's a big
such
one.
neglect. So like if cows get out,
Build a fence around.
I
La, la,
don't think
la,
we're
la.
taking on that liability. We're not doing that.
Yeah, I have a procedure that outlines the
Yeah.
liability.
Yeah, we're not doing
You
that.
might wanna run it by Bob before you.
Yeah, definitely not doing that.
For the fence owner.
Does that answer your question, sir?
well, we're not doing fence viewing?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
I don't know that there is a option.
Can we table this and talk to Bob? Because I really want his legal advice on that. It was like, especially if I'm gonna be liable for some dude's.
Can I
Cattle.
semi-quote him what he said?
I remember
Right
what he
here.
said.
I've been in this
Yeah,
representing counties for how many years, and this is the first time I've heard of fence viewing.
Yeah.
So, he's gotta do some education himself.
Well, and Allen County,
You can call me
he
Bob.
told me that Allen
Number.
County does have fence viewing, so. But yeah, we can table it and meet with him.
Yes, please.
All right. I just wanted to get it out there because it was on our list of
To-dos.
past things that got tabled, so let's, so now we have an NRP update.
hey, where are you tabling that to?
We are?
Yeah, what, you said you're tabling it, but can we get a date?
Oh, on that,
We are?
well,
Well, you said so. I mean, somebody.
Okay, I'm thinking tabling NRP, I'm like, wait a
no, we're
second.
tabling the fence viewing. Well, let me call him and then, let's shoot for next week.
Okay, the 21st?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, NRP update. Were you just here last week updating?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Did you have a chance to look at, we'd sent out the NRP, those numbers
Yes,
to you
sir.
guys so you can kind of see what you're
So
looking
the-
at as far as the money that's there that would actually help with budgeting and stuff if it was coming on that much sooner.
And this number's for what you, so I'm looking at 25, 24, 23.
Mm-hmm.
So in 25, the appraised value went up, it's 5.4 mil.
That's the applications that we got in 25. So that's all the houses and things that were built for 24. They happened in 24, but they went on 25's taxes.
Okay, and the tax abated on that was $37,000.
Yeah. Yep, it will be around that, yep. That's using last year's mill levy, because we don't know what 25's mill levy is gonna be.
Right.
So,
And how many houses do we have on there? Oh. It's like 52?
Well, that's how many applications, so if somebody builds a barn or a garage or something like that, it goes on there as well, but the vast majority of them are houses. And that's how the number jumps so much, because, you know, if you got, somebody goes from a bare piece of ground to a $200,000 house, then there's 200,000.
So
And-
can you answer this question?
Mhm.
Where are they on the social economic scale? The people who,
Developers,
are they all developers?
some.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are just people that are building houses out there, that have bought a piece of land and want to build a house on it.
Okay, all right. So some people are building homes,
Mhm.
and then there's some people who are developers.
I mean, very few that we get are actually somebody building a spec home to sell. They're almost all of them are. These are.
But I thought spec homes aren't part of the NRP. I thought there was supposed to be an existing property that you fix up to bring up the property value.
It depends. I mean, if you take a vacant lot and you put a house on it, we go from vacant lot to now it has a house on it. So that's an improvement, and that qualifies as well. Yeah, anything. I mean, garage, shop. You want to add a bathroom on, you want to add a bedroom on the house, you know, adding square footage to something that's already there, or
Right.
you can build, you know, a brand new home on it.
For me, there's a couple of factors in this. The first one is, if I have somebody who's not in a particular socioeconomic band,
Mm-hmm.
and they do this, and then we take away this abatement for them,
Right.
then it causes them an undue hardship. Make sense?
Right, but we're not taking away the total thing. We're just going from 10 years to 5 years.
I understand
So
that,
they're still
but-
going to take 5 years of benefits from it, and they
Right.
just comes on the tax roll that much.
You know, you tell somebody you're taking away their social security,
Sure.
you
Yeah.
know, they're, either way, you're taking away.
Right. Right.
But then at the same time, I'm hearing that there are people in business
Mhm.
who are using this, and I understand that too, because the laws are there, they gotta do their thing. I'm really,
When they sell it, it passes on to the homeowner, though.
Yeah.
It don't stay with the developer.
Yep. It goes to whoever. Yeah, it's fully transferable. So
The clock doesn't reset.
no, the clock doesn't do it.
Right.
No, it does not do a reset. So if they sell it 3 years after they started, then there is just that what's left on it. Yeah.
all right. Last year was $37,000. Have you thought about this at all?
Mainly what I looked into was where did moving it to 10 years spark something for our county? That's what I wanted to know. When he
Right.
brought that to me, I said, did moving this from 5 to 10 make a lot of people go and improve their homes or build new homes? And he brought me numbers that said, no, it did not. So there was no benefit.
Yeah, and stayed pretty flat as far as the amount of applications we got.
Because
So,
I actually thought the numbers would be like astronomical.
right, yeah,
I really
yeah.
did.
yeah. It's been a good program. I mean, before we did the 10-year, we were getting lots of applications from people that wanted to take advantage of it.
And this would only affect people in the future, not the
Yeah,
current state.
no, yeah, it would, yeah, we would start it
Also-
in 26.
Also,
And then that's when-
only in the county, the city's already 5,
Yeah,
and
the
those
city.
downtown buildings are already 15.
Right,
Okay.
yeah, the city has their
And so the
own.
county is the only thing that's 10,
Mhm.
and he's proposing you move the county back to 5. He's not gonna touch the city or the big monster buildings downtown.
Roger that, okay.
And that, when we say city too, that is just Fort Scott. Uniontown, all the other smaller entities, they are under our
Okay.
NRP,
Okay.
so.
All right.
So if that's what you guys want to do, all I gotta do is I gotta start getting the tax entities to sign off on it, rewrite it so that it's 5 years instead of 10, then get the taxing entities to sign off on it that are involved. Just need to go ahead from you guys. And like I said, it'll run through, what's out there now will run through 26, and then we will start a new application and everything for 26.
So all the applicants we currently have will run through 26.
Right, yeah, anybody that's, yeah, that's going, yeah, this year, and then after that, it'll be the 5 years.
You signing checks?
Yeah, I'm listening. So what do you think?
I think it'll be all right.
I thought we'd already voted on this. So, what do you?
if there was a huge uptick when it went from 5 to 10 and we've seen a lot of people utilizing it, I would say, no, it's working, but it didn't do anything.
No, it
I
stayed pretty
mean,
flat.
we didn't have a huge uptick according to the numbers that you presented,
Yep.
so I'm fine with your proposal.
Okay.
So we need a motion.
Yeah.
I move that we change the NRP from 10 years to 5 years.
For residential, yeah, we
For
probably better,
residential.
yeah, we want to make sure we say that, yeah.
I'll second it.
Beerbauer,
Yes.
Tran,
Yes.
Milburn.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Next up, hospital equipment.
Who's talking about that?
I do, I will. I'll do it.
That's hers.
All right.
Or as, I guess you had input on it too.
I hope everybody has input.
I thought we had a sell.
Yeah, so before I worked for the commission hired somebody to do a sell on the hospital equipment that's being stored in Public Works. It's still there. I mean, don't know what the holdup is. I was hoping somebody could tell us.
Well, we'd have to go back to the minutes of that meeting, but that was one of Commissioner Wisenhunt's leadership on that. He was heading up that group. I can't remember now the name of the group.
Eric had told me previously that they had been out at that building several times.
They supposed
Employees
to-
of the county taking
Yeah.
pictures for whoever they hired.
Right.
So I'm not sure why. So we need to, I don't know if we wanna give them a deadline. I don't know if you guys signed a contract or if you just said, sure, you can sell it. We need to figure that out.
You know about the hospital equipment?
Yeah,
If I remember right, I'm not 100% sure, but there was a medical clinic in Mitchellton that they requested that some of the equipment go to them.
yeah.
They got theirs already, yeah. Yeah, no, there was a group that, yeah, I had to go back and look at the minutes, but,
And after that, and I apologize for interrupting you,
Is that all I
Gov Deals.
Gov Deals or something?
what picture is
Gov Deals
that?
that supposedly was working with former commissioner in regards to
Right.
the property online
Yeah.
and sold and stuff, so.
Sheriff, do you have contacts for them, or may I have them? So, I mean, I guess I can call and follow up. I wasn't here when they were hired, but they need to get on with it, or we need to get on with somebody else.
They didn't
These
like
pictures,
hospital.
these are hospital stuff. This is at the EMS building, the one that we're trying to get.
Yeah, that's not where this stuff is at.
There's
I
more.
know,
at
but I'm
Public-
telling
Yeah.
you, we have more. So it's just not in Public Works, it's also in that
That's
building. It's
that,
full.
Wow.
did we gain control of that building yet?
No, sir. I'm still
Okay.
waiting to hear back from
All right.
our Esquire.
Yeah, so I can reach out to former Commissioner Wisenhunt and find out where they were last on that.
So you're gonna get on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I asked the director of EMS to send me those pictures and she sent them to me.
Okay.
Okay, when are you gonna have an update date for us, David, on that? Where we'll
Next
talk
week.
about it again, next week,
Yeah.
21st?
21st.
Okay.
Budget Committee was the other one that you had added to
Okay,
the,
yep. I would like to ask the commission, find the right committee. I'd like to amend the bylaws for the Budget Advisory Board. Let's find out where to put it. Under section 4, voting, recommendations of the board shall be adopted by a majority vote of the members present. I'd like to add to this a recommendation to increase the mill. Needs to be not just a majority vote, but unanimous.
Of the
If they're
board.
gonna if the board is going to recommend in September to the commission to increase the mill, their final recommendation, I would like it to be unanimous.
Any input on that, Chairman?
We're here to serve you guys, whatever you want.
Okay.
We're willing to do.
Sam?
How many's on the board now? 5?
Yeah.
Based on the fact that your recommendation carries so much weight, and it's high profile, and we need your recommendation. Let's just be honest about it, okay? I thought it was a very good idea when the whole committee idea came out, and I applaud what you and your team have done. Based upon that, I'm gonna say yes. It needs to be unanimous.
Okay, I don't know, my input on that is that, what if it's not unanimous, then where are we at?
Then they won't recommend that we raise the mill.
Well,
And we'll have to go against their recommendations if we want to.
or they can come back and say with a different number. Nobody at this table is telling that they have to stick to 62.5. They can come back at whatever number. It's unanimous, it's unanimous. Or am I wrong?
Right, yeah, it would have to be unanimous if they wanted to come back and say anything above what the mill currently is.
Or,
That's what I'm proposing.
In case anybody's wondering, the vote for 62.5 was 4-0 with one abstention. So the abstention would make it not
I
unanimous.
read that.
right, right,
It wasn't a 3-2 vote, I just
Right.
wanted to clarify
right.
that.
I did watch the video, thank you.
Okay. And I think I would tend to agree with, where we're at and, you know, the fact that if we do raise the mill, it is going against the grain of everything. So, yeah, I think if we gotta do it, then I think it should be unanimous, so.
Yeah, I don't think it should be easy to raise the mill.
Right.
Thank you, Greg. Yes.
Okay,
Then I move we amend the bylaws of the Bourbon County Commission Budget and Advisory Board. Article 5 meetings, Section 4 voting. Add a section to require unanimous vote to recommend a raised mill.
Second.
Milburn,
Yes.
Beerbauer,
yes.
Trent.
Yes.
And Mr. Tran,
Sir.
rules and responsibilities.
Okay, what I meant to say was I wanted to talk to us, I want to put it out there that we have commissioner liaisons. We need to be able to interface with our respective department heads and different branches and become essentially their mentor and basically their cheerleader. We need to understand what it is they do. And having all these people come to this commissioner, that commissioner, it kind of dilutes the whole purpose. And to me, it's like, I have certain skill sets that I bring to the table. You two have certain skill sets that bring to the table. And I think we should actually use those skill sets. So what I'm saying is, let me be the liaison for Public Works. Let Commissioner Milburn be the liaison for the courthouse. Let Commissioner Beerbauer be the liaison for EMS and the sheriff's department and anything else that has to do with first responders, like the fire, well, yeah, the volunteer fire department. So, that's not to say.
EMS.
EMS, thank you. And that's not to say that we have oversight over your function. That is not it at all. I do not want oversight over your function. But what I seek to do is to understand what you do and what your challenges are, and then be the voice here in the committee. That's what I seek to do. Because I think for far too long, we've just really had, people didn't have a voice, and people didn't have somebody championing their respective divisions. And I think that's what we need. And because if you come to me and you say, I want a Taj Mahal, I'm gonna tell you, well, we would love to give it to you, but here's this. Or somebody comes and says, I really need this. Well, that's the first time I've heard that. So that's what I'm proposing, is for us to be liaisons. Now, I will draft something up, clarifying, because I'm not asking for money, I'm not asking for any more authority than what I have currently, which is none, really.
Well, that's, you know, where I see this here, I mean, I see Public Works as a department head under the commission. Courthouse is a mix of department head, or departments under the commission and elected officials. And public safety is same. I mean, we got EMS, that is a department, and then we got the sheriff's, which is an elected official.
Correct.
So I think we probably ought to outline the scope of, you know, what we're talking about as far as what the duties and authority of the liaison should be. And then, because I definitely don't want to step on nobody's toes.
Right.
Especially another elected official.
Correct.
That went through the same
Correct.
process and was elected by the people. So I would say we table it until we have,
But you're amendable to it.
yeah. I'm agreeable to it. I think I'm repeating myself. I see the merits to it, especially with our own departments.
Right.
Yeah. So, yes, I would be
You,
amendable to it.
Commissioner? Are
You
good
wouldn't be
with that?
wasting your time if you drafted a proposal.
All right. And just for the record, just, you know, if this comes to fruition, I'm not saying that I'm going to abdicate my responsibility to the courthouse or to anything that the sheriff asked me to help or any other, you know what I'm saying? It's just my primary focus will be public works. So I'll continue to help you with what's happening in the building, and I help the sheriff with his IT, you know. I just want to be able to focus on one entity,
Yep, understood.
okay? So I'll have that to you,
How long do you need it?
how long?
Yeah,
Next week,
next week? Okay.
if not before.
7/21.
I don't think it's gonna be a big, major.
No. Okay. So then now we're moving on to new business.
Well, I thought that was new. That sounded new. That's okay.
Okay.
It was new,
It was.
Was new.
that was new.
Okay.
How about public
well,
comment?
Maybe I put it in that.
Public
wrong.
comments is next.
Huh? We got more to do before commissioners' comments.
Public?
No, public comment.
Oh, public
We skipped over
comments.
public comments.
Oh, yeah, public comments. I forgot all about that.
Sorry, Michael.
I didn't get anything. Or she didn't get anything.
Michael did submit one.
I said,
So
well,
he has.
Oh,
some
he
up
has
there.
them, okay.
yeah, I have them. Michael put 2 of them out there.
And I think Greg has one
All
as well.
motions
Oh, I'm sorry,
and
who was
what?
first then?
I don't know.
All motions and actions, that's for during the meeting and on the agenda.
Action.
I'm just gonna assume I was first. I come bearing gifts. Here is a copy of Rosenberg's rules, which is what the Kansas Kansas Association of Counties recommend that we go by.
Thank you.
And Commissioner Milburn, in your previous change to the Budget Committee, you may want to add to the members present, after reading page 6 there, and I just skimmed over it, an abstention can work against you if they aren't present, because they are actually counted as not present, so it would have been a unanimous vote. So there's some twists and turns in that you're gonna wanna
Oh,
read
got you, okay.
to add to your language
Okay.
of how that works. I don't know if on your seating, I gave you your copy of the Constitution or not. It does come with a quiz.
Thank you, Michael.
We all know what the First Amendment is, we all know what the Second Amendment is, but do you know what the Third Amendment is?
Yeah,
There you go.
you can't quarter military.
There you go. Last item I want to bring up is, I need some clarification on, and I couldn't print this out. Susan said she could give me a complete copy. But on the last paragraph of the letter that we got from Scott Schwab, the Secretary of State, it said interested parties in Bourbon County. And it outlines how we are supposed to be replacing the old districts with the new districts, that how there will be an election in April of 2025. The Republican precinct leader from Old District 3, who were in office at the time the letter was submitted. Then we're going to have a special election, and everyone signed up for that. Was that this year, or is this going to be next year? Because they go on and give 26 dates.
Yeah.
So the way I read this, it kind of appears to me that we're leaving District 3 vacant for almost a year. I believe there needs to be a convention by the Republican Party for the former District 3 commissioner spot.
When it becomes vacant, right?
When it becomes vacant, yes. But it doesn't spell that out in the letter from the Secretary of State's office. It indicates that.
Because at the time that he wrote that, that wasn't, I don't think Commissioner Milburn had filed for,
Well, shame on her, because it was March the 28th, so. But we probably did we even know what District 5 was on March the 28th? I assume we did, but
I think we did too.
We did, because I filed in February, so yes.
see, he got ahead. So I believe we need to have some word on that as to what is going to happen to Old District 3 in the interim between when the commissioner representing District 3 steps down to take a new position of District 5 and next year. Because right now it's just saying we're gonna have an election next year.
Yeah, I imagine they won't contradict themselves. If I hadn't ran for 5, they were gonna allow me to sit in 3 until the special election. And so whoever they appoint when I step down, I imagine they will do it the exact same way they've done the last 2.
Okay, so now
From
my
old districts.
fourth question is, how are we gonna handle the townships? The new townships that we have been told that we're going to need, dividing the Scott into the east and west, is it? Or north and south Scott, something like that. There was going to be some GIS work needed,
Yeah.
and I don't know if we need that before. Those townships need to be defined before the election. Before you could, they have to run for election in June to be assigned to those new townships, so we have to have those defined by June.
June of this year?
No, June. June 1st, so that they can file to be township people for District 3 going forward.
Is that the clerk's job?
What about the clerk's job?
Is that her job?
Well, I guess. She talked about, using the GIS person, but I don't know that that person is available at this time, but,
We're working on a GIS to do the precincts.
precincts
You are?
aren't GIS.
Well, we're working, with HR and with Bob. That's the word I had today.
So for the townships? Yeah, because there's
News to me.
nothing
I have no
idea.
GIS
I've never heard
for,
anything about townships.
I don't know about that.
I just know that there was a message put out today about precincts, and that they were working with the GIS before, and now
Well, the precincts don't have anything to do with GIS.
It's either way. If there's an issue that we need to take care of, we will take care of it.
Okay, so we need to take care of the townships so that we can have
Is that what
voting.
Susan asked about a couple weeks ago? Is that
Right.
what you're talking about, Michael?
Yes.
Okay.
We need to go forward with that
I guess
before
you
June
were talking about
1st.
going to Sam's and getting the precincts or townships
Okay.
drawn up if we
Okay.
didn't have somebody here. And I think Sam's is charging $150 an hour or something like that.
For how many hours?
I don't know, it depends on how long it takes them to do the job.
Well, they should give a quote.
Well, and they have the data already because they did the redistricting,
Right.
so
Right. So it shouldn't be that bad.
I wouldn't think.
So either way, it's like, yes, we are aware of it, we just need to formulate a path.
Yeah, we need a quote. I mean,
Okay, I'm just bringing it to your attention.
We're working on it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And I have a copy of these rules for everyone in the audience for nighttime reading.
Mr. Motley?
So you guys know that I'm on the,
would you address that? If we're supposed to be talking about that, would you address
I did too.
Will I address it?
Mm-hmm.
Not tonight.
it? Okay.
you guys know that I'm on the Freeman Fort Scott Board of Directors, Vice Chairman. And it was brought to my attention that the second quarter sales tax is accumulating and not been paid to Freeman, even though they provided the proper documentation. And the agreement between Freeman and the county is that they're supposed to notify Chairman Harris and the city manager. Of course, the city manager now, they had a one-time payment and they're not involved in the sales tax. So I think we need a new procedure on how Freeman applies for the sales tax payments. Because the second quarter is out there, and so they're just waiting on that money. And they're operating at a huge cost because the delay between June and September, they've hired all the staff. So they're paying all the staff to do nothing right now.
Right.
And so if we could just expedite that payment to them.
Yeah, I was reached out today by our Citizen Advisory Committee for the ER, and that they had met with the hospital director out there.
Yeah, I took him out there.
Right, and that had satisfied, so all we gotta do is wait for the clerk so that we can get the.
Okay, just stroke a check, yeah.
Get the
Okay.
information that we need to release that
So
other
is that
money.
advisory committee still involved? Engaged?
Yes,
Okay, all
yes.
right, okay,
Yes, for now,
okay.
yeah.
Then the only other thing is I need that letter of support from you for the.
Oh, yeah, I will,
Okay.
I'll forward that to you.
Great, okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
Could I add one point? In doing some research, all of our internet presence is way behind. Did Stronghold bid on updating that? I mean, I came across, and I will bring this to
You're
your
talking about the
attention.
web page?
All the web
That
pages
thing's been
everywhere.
way behind for a
I mean,
long time, well before
When they
Stronghold.
show Rule, Fisher, and O'Hara as
Yeah,
commissioners
yeah,
on
that's-
the League of Municipalities, but I'll bring that to the cities.
Yeah,
They're the dues payer there. But we can get that updated.
Yeah,
Well, I may agree with that we need to upgrade it. I think we need to just make sure we get all the critical stuff done first.
okay.
Because, let's be honest, that stuff was languished. I've been here 4 years, that stuff's been languished.
Yeah, I
So
don't know
like,
why.
it's, I appreciate being brought to our attention, but to
Yeah.
me, it comes back to what's critical first, let's take care of that.
Okay.
It also makes us appear that we're not paying attention.
That may be true,
Yeah.
but we've not been paying attention for a number of years.
What, does that make it right, though?
It
No,
does
we'll
not.
get it, Michael.
Well, I mean.
I'll figure out who
all
does the
things-
webpage.
All things in due time, yeah.
Right.
So next up, Scott Township appointment recommendations. That is,
Who are you, what letter of recommendation are you writing? Is that
I'm
Greg was talking
reading
about?
off of new business Scott Township
That's
appointment
first
recommendation.
point in new business.
No, no,
Yeah.
I'm asking what Greg was asking for. He asked for a letter of recommendation from you?
Oh, I guess,
Well,
I hadn't fully read all that on the
Yeah.
email yet, so I was
The,
Department of,
it's the federal government giving them the CMS certification. There's 2 surveys required, one by the state, and once the state's done, then the federal government does theirs. Right now, they have a 150-day waiting list for certifications. So, and there has to be, they have to be open, there has to be patience before the survey can be done. So the state couldn't even do a survey until September. And so to wait 150 days before you can take Medicare or Medicaid would be an extreme hardship, because probably 70% of the people pay with Medicare and Medicaid. So to not be able to take those forms of payment for 150 days would be devastating to the hospital. There is an exemption on the second survey if the county can prove that they're in a essentially
Hardship county.
healthcare desert, and that there's no other healthcare in the immediate vicinity, no other ER, no other hospital beds, which we qualify for. So we've got Senator Moran and Senator Marshall and other dignitaries around the state, and we're just getting local dignitaries to say, hey, we're a healthcare desert, and we need this mutual survey. It would be an undue hardship to Freeman to wait the 150 days.
So this is so that Freeman can bill,
To get the CMS
Insurance.
certification so they can bill Medicare and Medicaid. And not have to wait 150 days to do that, which would be ridiculous. And the state survey and the federal survey aren't that different.
so then David's just gonna write you a letter of recommendation,
Yeah, Freeman,
a letter of support.
Yeah.
letter of support.
the
Yeah.
mayor and board of trustees of the college and other people have written letters. I wrote one as vice chairman of the board, and it's just, you need the letters to go to the federal government to say, hey, this is what's true. And so, we go through the letter for David to sign and alter it any way he wanted to.
Oh, so it's already written, you just need to sign it?
Well, he just has to put his name on it. and
Right,
letterhead,
yeah,
so.
fill in the blanks.
I'm sorry, I didn't see the letter or
Well,
the
we-
conversation, so I did not know.
Yeah, it wasn't, we had talked about the conversation and then seeking public support, but they didn't want to have everybody calling the senators and.
Well, yeah, you don't want 500 letters that all say exactly the same thing, with just different names at the bottom.
You don't have to explain any further, I just
Yeah.
didn't even know about the letter
Oh,
at all.
well, yeah.
Or what, you guys were talking about a letter
Yeah.
and him needing to sign it, and usually the commission asks the chairman to sign, so I just didn't even know.
Okay, that's fine.
Just wanted some clarification.
I can't call you up and say, hey. So,
One way to learn, and that is to
Right.
ask.
fine, yeah, I agree. Okay, so now we're back to Scott Township appointment recommendations. Says, please accept this letter as the appointment of Jerry Johnson to treasurer for the Scott Township. Also Jeffrey Aaron Daly as trustee for Scott Township. We appreciate consideration for the appointment of these 2 individuals. Board Clerk, Don Van So I move that we accept these appointments of Mr. Johnson as treasurer and Mr. Daly as trustee for Scott Township.
Second. Milburn,
Yes.
Beerbauer,
Yes.
Tran.
Yes.
Sheriff, enterprise vehicle leasing.
you doing, sir?
Hello.
Hello. Before we start, I'd like to make a kind of a small announcement. Not really an announcement. I just want to thank the Budget Committee Board for the stuff that they are doing. I mean, they have a lot on their plate right now to address budgets that are coming up. I was not aware that the discussion that was known was going to be tonight in regards to setting it all at a certain level in Detroit. And here I am getting ready to discuss vehicles through these programs through Enterprise. Who we have at the table with me is Kenneth Olson. He's with Enterprise. We have been working together for approximately the last 2 months to come up with a plan for the replacement of the vehicles and stuff. He has a history of the vehicles that we have, and he will go into detail in regards to the years and stuff like that. Isaac Schuler, has been somewhat in charge of the vehicles for the maintenance. He's trying to track down records and stuff. But it's kind of difficult for him to do that because the records are kind of scattered. Some get turned in, some are classified somewhere else. But Enterprise has a great program that will control all that, so we know exactly what we're doing and stuff like that. So once again, I would like to introduce you to Kenneth Olson, and he can tell you a little bit about him and why he does Enterprise and what plans we have to go forward in regards to vehicles for the sheriff's office.
Thanks, Sheriff. Well, good evening, Commissioners, and thanks so much for having me tonight. Before I dive in, I just wanted to thank Sheriff Eric Bailey and all of the sheriff staff and public works staff. You have a great group of guys, and it's been a very enjoyable process over the last couple months working with the team and to get in here tonight. So just appreciate that and appreciate your time tonight. From an agenda standpoint, I know you guys have a lot going on right now, so I'll try to speak as quickly as possible. But from that standpoint, I wanted to walk you through a few of the core areas of our program, just a general overview. I know we put the synopsis out there, but really just a general overview of who we are. From there, dive into the vehicle and the operational sides briefly, and then we'll get into the analytics of and what we put together from a financial perspective. So really from a big picture standpoint, we are part of the Enterprise Mobility family, so you're probably familiar with us from a rental car standpoint. That's where most folks know us from. On the fleet management side, we essentially leverage the tools, the resources, the people, and everything that we own and operate from having a few million vehicles out there to help entities with what we consider small to medium-sized fleets. Our niche is 20 to 300 vehicles. You can imagine in the government space, most of our entities fall very similar, 50 to 100 vehicles. So we focus on small to medium-sized fleets and help bring efficiencies, save money, reduce the budget. But really, from a big picture standpoint, my role is really just getting the partnerships established. So working with the team as we have to figure out what pieces of our program would be a good fit. We do have the Sourcewell Purchasing Cooperative Award, so you can piggyback off all the different pieces. We'll talk more about that. And then designing and customizing the vehicle strategy, the financial structure. I'm in a lot of council meetings, commissioner meetings, pretty much on a weekly basis at this point, working with your attorney and all of those things. So essentially getting the partnerships established. I am out of the Kansas City office. I cover the whole state of Kansas and about half Missouri. From there, I have local client strategy managers up in the Kansas City area. We've got multiple teams, and you would be, as soon as the partnership would go live, we would have a client strategy manager that's going to come down typically about 4 times per year. I know that you kind of do your budget planning in April, June we're turning things in, August approval. So we would base our meeting cadence around your budget timeline and the manufacturer timeline from a model year standpoint, but really all of our meetings are designed around budget preparation. So we're having the vehicles come in and out at the right time, and the team's well prepared. So long and short with all of that, really my job is to start a partnership that's very relationship based. We're here, we're not just going to sell you some vehicles and walk away. We want to be at the table with you on an ongoing basis. From a flexibility standpoint, I partner with quite a few government entities in the area, and just to kind of give you an idea of how entities have partnered with us, both from an operational perspective and what pieces they're utilizing, along with how we implement the program over the years. So to give you a couple examples, I partner with Cherokee County, Crawford County, City of Pittsburgh. If we go a little bit further out, you've got the Johnson County up in Kansas City, Unified Government, Shawnee County, the state of Missouri. And with these few entities, they only use us for what I consider the vehicle side. So purchasing or procurement, getting the vehicles upfitted, funding of some sort, and then resale. Okay, Pittsburgh School District down the road, CDL, group of companies, Lynn County. With these few entities, they use us for that vehicle side, but they also use us for maintenance, for fuel. Some use our telematics, our insurance. Sheriff's side might look a little different than public works. So all of that's customized around the department, the entity, and what your need is from an operational perspective. Same goes for how we implement the strategy. We have a proposal that we put together in the analytics in your synopsis, but that can go many different ways, if you will. But just to give you an idea of this, Jackson County on the Missouri side, we flipped out their whole fleet pretty much day one. Partnered with City of Salina many years ago, and they did a 3-year implementation. Marion County, we just partnered, we're doing a 5-year implementation. So every entity looks a little bit different. Every entity has a different budget structure. But really at the end of the day, again, I'm confident if we can get this partnership established, we'll work with you to save money and implement this program over X amount of years. Last piece before we dive in a little bit, typically the biggest area of opportunity in the government space is reducing the budget and doing more with less, and then starting to get in and out of the vehicles at the right time. So to give you an example of this, more so on the public works side, but even on the sheriff's side, many of my entities over the last 5 to 10 years have rotated their vehicles out at 12 or 24 months. And the reason we do this, which is typically the complete opposite for what most government agencies historically did, but through our equity lease model, we're able to capitalize on that buying power. You guys get very strong government incentives. We have very strong relationships with the manufacturers. Overall, fairly low mileage patterns. You guys average out under 15,000 miles on average. And then Enterprise sells more vehicles, sells more used vehicles than anyone. So strong buying power, strong resale, low mileage, reducing the operational expenses. With our equity lease model, many of our entities, I always use the Unified Government as an example, we'd buy a F-250 pickup for $32,000. We'd fund it for 1 year down to a remaining balance of $25,000. So their budget was $7,000, and then we were selling them for $40,000 or $50,000 after a year. So they actually profited in that scenario. Now, that's not going to work in every single public works vehicles because we've got a lot of equipment and such, but there's always a lowest cost of ownership and always a right time to get out of that vehicle, and that's where my team's always handling from a total cost of ownership standpoint when the right time to get out of that specific vehicle is. So I know that's kind of a lot there, but the equity lease is what most of our government agencies are doing, and again, it's allowing them to do more with less, save money, and start doing what's right from a financial perspective. Any questions before I dive into the vehicle side a little bit?
You referenced Public Works also, so are we working with them also?
Yeah, the 49 vehicles.
Come to the table.
And transparently, just to elaborate there a little bit, road and
Okay.
Public Works and Sheriff have a large majority of the vehicles. Almost
right.
Every county that I work with, just appraiser, parks, some fire, EMS, health, whatever it be, there's an opportunity to help across the board. But for the majority of the vehicles, there's 49 in these 2 departments. So that's where we typically start there and then kind of grow and expand organically as time goes on.
Okay.
So to dive into the vehicle side a little bit, really any way you can imagine purchasing a vehicle, we have a solution for it. We've got the largest used inventory in the country. We've got millions of rental vehicles. We have all of our fleet management vehicles. I do not recommend that you purchase used vehicles being a government agency, again, due to the buying power. We also have the largest dealer network in the country. We buy from dealers on a regular basis. Last year we bought from 15,000 dealerships. We deliver to our local dealerships. We have maintenance providers, warranty work, rental cars, all those different things. So if there's we hit a deer or an engine blows or whatever it be, we have the capability to go out and get those vehicles and get you back on the road in a very short amount of time. That said, about 95% of our vehicles in the government space are ordered direct from the factory. So we have every make, every model, every option. We sit down as we have already and spec out these vehicles together. Then we figure out what aftermarket equipment that specific vehicle needs. So we order a public works truck and maybe we're shipping it to Knapheide or American Equipment or whoever it be, or sheriff, we're shipping out to KCOM or Serve or whatever aftermarket vendor they need. We'll drop ship that vehicle to that location, then we'll get it delivered to you all ready to go. You do not start paying until after that vehicle delivers. So if we're delivering a vehicle January 1 with your calendar year budget, we order that vehicle. The Tahoe is a 5-day window potentially this year. We order that vehicle, we get it upfitted, and we get it delivered around January 1st. So from that perspective, that's the most cost-effective way is to order direct from the factory. It gives us some flexibility from a delivery standpoint, certainly the financial recommendation, but any way you could imagine procuring a vehicle, we have a solution, and we have all of the aftermarket vendors as well. As that new vehicle arrives, we'll pick up the aged vehicle that it's replacing, and we'll sell that county-owned vehicle on your behalf or the enterprise vehicle on your behalf down the road. When we sell our vehicles, we sell them to, well, we have two different ways that we sell our vehicles. About 15%, right now our average age is 14 years from the county as a whole from an average age standpoint. A lot of your vehicles are gonna go through our auction channel. About 15% of our fleet goes through an auction channel. The other 85% is the vehicles that are in good health, the vehicles being sold at the right time, the enterprise vehicles down the road. Those vehicles are sold direct to our wholesale and franchise buyers who buy 1 to 2 million vehicles from us every single year. So through that direct channel, we're able to minimize the auction fees, and then also we typically get about 10% above auction value. Equally as important, we're analyzing when's the right time to get out of that specific vehicle, okay? So handling the logistics, sell the vehicle as well, getting in and out at the right time. Handling the process of all the paperwork and all the logistics of that. So lastly, we put those two components together and we figure out how do you want to pay for them. We do have a self-fund model that allows you to essentially pay cash. We hold title, we leave it on our books for $1 as we're handling the license and titling, the registration, the renewals. We sell that vehicle as an enterprise vehicle. That's a cash model, more of our commercial type entities. We do have a net lease option that I'll never recommend to you guys. We have fees, we have penalties, wear and tear. Again, more of a retail model on that side. What all of my government agencies are leveraging in some capacity is our equity lease model. What this is a bank finance down to a remaining balance, and then when we sell that vehicle, you get the equity. There is no fees for over mileage, no fees for wear and tear, no fees for early termination. It's all based around the equity of the vehicle. Okay? Again, one of the reasons a lot of our entities are leveraging that is to reduce the budget. Instead of getting 2.7 vehicles per year, we're talking about significantly more than that for round one, and that allows us to get started and get a little more aggressive and get the team the tools that they need to effectively do their job. Any questions on the vehicle side?
So what happens if you take it to auction or you take it to the wholesalers and the vehicle has no equity left in, or it's negative equity?
So we're gonna know that before we do that. We have an entire remarketing division that's all they do is sell vehicles. We have a remarketing director on the fleet management side. So that's where in those 4 meetings that my team's meeting with you, we're gonna analyze that and say, hey, we actually recommend that you extend this vehicle out another year or 2 years or whatever it be. In the government space, that's very rare that occurs, or you're upside down. We also can mitigate that by putting money down or rolling equity into the vehicles or billing out aftermarket equipment. So we've got a lot of flexibility there, and we can always put you in a good position, but you're typically in a pretty good position there. But you're never, again, with the equity lease model, it's never mandatory that you get out at a specific point in time. You can always extend that lease out longer, and the market's gonna change, right? We've been in a really good market, we got a little bit lower. The good thing in the government world, though, is the government incentives correlate with the resale of the vehicles. Okay, so meaning if the resale market goes down, the government incentives go up, okay, and vice versa. So from that standpoint, there's, again, almost always our government agencies are in a pretty good financial position from an equity standpoint alone.
So what's the average loss in equity for a police cruiser?
Police cruisers are certainly going to depreciate faster than a commercial type vehicle. We typically depreciate our vehicles 0.25, which is, it's kind of in the formula, right?
0.25.
0.25% faster than on a standard depreciation model. So if a standard vehicle we're depreciating 48 months at 1.5% depreciation, we would do that at 1.2 or 1.75% for a pursuit type vehicle.
So it's a per month.
Per month or over the duration of the term. That's how we're getting to our reduced book value, our remaining balance, which is way into the weeds. But your point is very valid. A pursuit vehicle is going to depreciate significantly faster, and I'm not telling you that a pursuit vehicle is going to be a money-making type machine.
Please don't read
Yes,
this
sir.
into anything else more than me
Yes,
just
sir.
trying to get educated.
Absolutely. But no, it is a really valid and good point, because there's specific vehicles that we're going to run them 48 months, and they're going to sell, and we're going to bring equity every single time, but it's not a administrative vehicle or a public works type vehicle or a county administration vehicle that we can sell for a massive amount back to our wholesale buyers. Diving over to the operational side, sheriff's outsourcing his maintenance right now, okay? Road and Bridge has their maintenance in-house. That's absolutely okay. We discussed potentially looking at what if we outsourced everything from a public works standpoint. We've got a ton of flexibility. Sheriff has a couple preferred shops. We'll work with those shops to get them on our maintenance programs from a local perspective. So very similar to what Sheriff's doing today, but we're going to provide some resources, and we're going to collect some data. And the benefit of Sheriff using the program is now we get that data, and as we're coming out on those regular reviews, now we're telling them, hey, this is truly what you're spending, not from a big picture budget standpoint. That's important, and we will do that as well, but truly on that specific vehicle, what are you spending on that Pursuit Tahoe or that administrative truck, right? Through our model, there's 3 ways we can do the maintenance. You guys can keep us out of it completely and do exactly as you're doing today without enterprise. That is one option, again, more for entities that have a large mechanic force, right? That said, from a enterprise perspective, we have 2 different programs that we offer. We have a maintenance management program that through Sourcewell, it is $6 per month per vehicle, and then all maintenance is passed through to you. So Sheriff goes into the local shop, and we can put this on every pursuit vehicle, and we can put it on every single vehicle in the fleet day one as soon as we partner, so that everything is under the same process from an operational perspective. I go into the local mom and pop, I go into a local dealership, whoever's on the program. We have maintenance cards, or we have a mobile app. We give them that card. They work with our ASE certified technicians. We'll make sure it's the right maintenance, right interval. We have negotiated pricing. We pay the bill wherever they go. You get one monthly consolidated bill. We'll have the different departments separated from a website standpoint and a billing standpoint, cost codes, all types of stuff there. But again, we get all of that data. There's typically about a 9 to 10% savings versus a non-managed outsourced program as we're doing today through our team managing that process. But the biggest benefit, selfishly, we get that data, and we're able to leverage that data in our analytics. As the new enterprise vehicles arrive, we have a full maintenance program. We do not offer this for the pursuit vehicles that are truly emergency response classified vehicle, and we do not offer this for your existing vehicles in the fleet as they're used vehicles, right? But for the new enterprise vehicles that are not pursuit rated vehicles, we will fix your cost for the duration of the term. So maybe we're doing an F-250 for 20,000 miles a year for 5 years, or a small seat crossover utility vehicle, a Trailblazer doing 5,000 miles per year for an admin vehicle. Every vehicle is going to have its own maintenance structure. Every vehicle is going to have its own mileage structure, term, all of those things. But we can fix the cost for that maintenance for the duration of the term from a budget standpoint. Operationally, the programs will remain the same. So keep us out of it, pay as you go, fixed and budgeted are really the three options that we have.
Okay. Do you do ambulances?
We do not. Unfortunately, there's,
You already asked. I had to.
we also do not do the big red fire trucks or the big yellow school buses. Or we were talking about out in the hallway, or Harley Davidsons. I wish we did, but for
Bummer,
whatever, we're getting into golf carts and stuff like that. But we're working our way there. But
Okay.
no, we're actually family owned, pretty conservative company. We're actually headquartered in our national headquarters is out of St. Louis.
Okay.
So a lot of those big school buses and fire trucks come down to the risk component. But last couple pieces, we do have WEX fuel cards, which sheriff's side is already utilizing. From that standpoint, we would recommend a transfer. It would be the exact same, no cost of the cars, no monthly cost, anything like that. But we get the data when I just filled up right over at the East Pete's or whatever it is. Put my odometer in, put my employee number in. That data flows into the website. That speaks to our maintenance program. Now I know your fuel, I know your maintenance, and we're able to bring that to the team from a financial perspective. Everything remains the same from there.
Also works on budgets too.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
They can keep their bulk fueling. If they want cards, again, they're free. So we'll give, if you're on a conference or whatever it be, you can have a card if you want a card. But, for sheriff already utilizing the program, we certainly recommend it.
Is this spreadsheet for what we currently have?
I can dive into that right this second.
I didn't want to jump the gun, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, so couple different things. So on the synopsis, if you turn to page 4, I don't know if you have that in front of you, but and I'll just walk you through it.
Sure.
We can get there's a lot of numbers and we can get way into the weeds, but really from a big picture standpoint on the analytics, I put together a couple different models. So the first model is what we consider our 10-year analysis or our fleet analysis. And I just want to touch on a few key components. So there's 49 vehicles that we analyzed. Your average age today is 14 years. Okay, that's across all 49 vehicles, so that does include sheriff's side and the public works side. If you look at just sheriff's fleet, you're at 2018 model year is the average age, which is, we're in the 26 model year, so that is very old for a sheriff type vehicle. On the public works side, the average age is 2008. That's really old. So from that perspective, when we look at that number, if we could, and I'll dive in a little bit deeper there, but the average annual mileage is at 11,900 miles. Sheriff's side is going to be higher than that. We've already talked about that. We're going to make a few adjustments from a mileage standpoint. You're going to have vehicles that are higher, vehicles that are lower, but et cetera. So average annual mileage is at 11,900. There were 35 vehicles out of the 49 that are over 10 years of age, and there was 12 vehicles that were over 20 years of age. Okay? So in the modeling that we put together initially, we have actually backed that down a little bit from a starting standpoint, but realistically, that's just kind of bare minimum. The criteria was 10 years old or 100,000 miles, so that's kind of our minimum recommendation that we would do for a government agency. With that structure, that brings us to a 34 initial year one recommendation, and then a 5-year implementation from there. So with all of that said, again, that's just some high level numbers, just to kind of give you an overview. Basically what that brings us to is your current fleet cycle is at 16 years. You're running your average vehicle about 16 years. Through the analysis that we put together, we recommend a 5-year cycle pattern. So we're going from a 16 to a 5-year pattern. That being said, we are absolutely going to get out of vehicles before 5 years. This is worst case scenario. We're just saying if we went from a 16 to a 5-year model, this is what it would look like. Our team will be here at all times making those recommendations of when to get in and out of the fleet. With that said, kind of diving into the numbers, based upon the assumptions that we put together, you're buying about 2.7 vehicles per year with your purchase cost, paying cash, your aftermarket equipment, a little tiny bit of equity coming back, your maintenance cost being very high, your fuel cost being very high. You're spending about $447,000 for these 49 vehicles across the board. Over a 10-year span, by leveraging the equity lease model, getting into a brand new fleet over the next 5 years, capitalizing on the equity from the fleet that's in the fleet today in those 49 vehicles, and then the enterprise equity moving forward, reducing our maintenance by implementing a newer fleet, reducing our fuel by implementing a newer fleet, we're looking at about $191,000 savings opportunity as a worst case scenario. That does not include the safety that comes with this, the downtime that's going to go away, your staff's time. Yes, ma'am.
You're telling me $191,000 in savings in 1 year?
In 10 years.
10 years.
Worst case scenario. And I agree with you. That's not a huge number. That's a savings. That is a savings. But you got to remember, we're going from a 16 to a 17-year cycle pattern to a 5-year cycle pattern. We're getting 34 vehicles in this model in one single year versus 2.7.
So where did we get those numbers? The savings numbers?
The savings numbers?
I mean, they're all projected, I suppose.
So they are in today's dollars. So in 25, 26 model year dollars. There are assumptions. The team went through, from my understanding, it was quite an exercise, but we try to get as much data as we can from an internal standpoint. I would assure you these numbers are not perfect, and I will be the first to tell you, nor do I tell you to budget from this. So the next model that I'm going to walk you through is what I recommend we budget on, okay? This model here is simply like for like, proof of concept. We are absolutely going to change this day one. We're doing different quantities of vehicles. Government incentives have gone up in this from 2025, what is in here. Now we're in 26. Government incentives have gone up substantially. So from that standpoint, this model changes every single year. All I'm showing you is big picture, close as possible, no way perfect. There is a savings opportunity through leveraging this and changing the philosophy of paying cash and running them till they're dead and having high maintenance and having high fuel to getting in and out at the right time and reducing our operational expenses and capitalizing on the equity.
So, based upon this, the current maintenance is $256 per vehicle.
Correct.
Is that per year or per month?
Per month. So that would bring you to a $135,000 annual budget.
And the fuel, you're pricing at $350. Just as a round number, because you got some diesels and some unleaded in there.
Correct. Pursuit vehicles, idle time, everything.
Right.
But at the end of the time, we're also very conservative on that. I've only implemented a 20% estimate increase in fuel economy. So again, fuel is gonna, like you say, fuel's fuel. It's gonna change, but there is some enhancement of fuel economy from going from a 14-year-old fleet to a.
Okay, so let's just say this gets executed on the maintenance portion of it. I notice here that tires are not captured. I was like, exclusive lease maintenance costs are exclusive of tires unless noted on lease rate quotes. I get that. Is there anything else like struts, shocks,
Yeah.
transmissions?
So, a couple different pieces. What's incorporated in the estimated maintenance on both your current fleet and the enterprise vehicles is absolutely everything. Labor, parts, preventative, non-preventative, the whole nine. From a moving forward standpoint, it depends on which maintenance program we utilize. So the pay-as-you-go program will cover everything's covered, but you're actually paying for that program because
Gotcha.
you're paying for that maintenance. With the enterprise program, I typically leave the brakes and tires out because on the fixed budgeted that you're paying monthly for, I typically leave them out because a lot of times we're cycling those vehicles before the first set of brakes and tires, so we don't even have those, but I can incorporate those in. Again, sheriff's side's gonna look a little bit different, but we don't offer the program for that. But outside of that, any preventative, any non-preventative, the only thing that would not be included would be neglect. If you didn't get your oil changed 20,000 miles or something silly like that, neglect, windshield repairs, you hit a deer, anything that would fall under an insurance type claim, that would not be included. So moving to the budget model, basically just to walk you through, again, we reduced these numbers, so what the team has requested from an initial strategy standpoint, sheriff, we're looking at 11 vehicles, and road and bridge, we're looking at 21. So what did I say in the initial model? 34, we dropped that down to 31. These numbers are very flexible. We can work within your budgets. We can change these numbers around. We kind of did a blueprint, a wish list. We know this is a big philosophy change, right? We're asking for 32 vehicles. Sorry, I said 31. 32 vehicles. In the last 10 years, you've been buying 2.7 per year. So we do know this is a big philosophy change. But again, as I mentioned in the last model, I really don't think it's that aggressive from a recommendation standpoint. Again, 2008 is the average age of road and bridge or public works right now, and 2018 is on the sheriff's side. So it's not really that drastic, but we can change these numbers and manipulate these however we need. But when we look at sheriff's side, there's about $69,000 of equity. Again, we sell those vehicles on your behalf. We'll write you a check for $69,000. We recommend, and I work with Ben Hart pretty frequently. I've had a conversation with him already, with you all from this entity standpoint. We always recommend that you establish an equipment reserve fund or keep that money in that department from a equity standpoint. So we sell those vehicles. We write you a check for $69,000. That goes into that fund to offset our future dollars cost. With sheriff, there's $145,000 in aftermarket equipment that we have billed out right now. I can capitalize that in, again, to help from a budget easement standpoint, but about $145,000. So get a check for $69,000, $145,000 capital outlay from an equipment standpoint. Or I can capitalize half of that into the leases, and now we're talking $70,000, $75,000, whatever it be. So again, that's where we go back into the, if we pay for all of that equipment up front, you're in a really good position equity-wise, or much better position than if we capitalize all of it in. So long and short there, moving forward, the annual cost for sheriff would be $136,000 from an average annual lease payment standpoint until vehicles are sold. We will get out of vehicles at 36 months, 48 months, 60 months, but from an average annual budget outlay, you're looking at about $136,000 after year one, okay? And in year one, you've got the aftermarket up front and then your lease payment. Same deal for public works. 21 vehicles, $97,000 in equity, $191,000 roughly in capital outlay from an equipment standpoint, and then $206,000 from an average annual lease payment standpoint. Okay, but we're talking about $400,000 in equity coming back if we run these till 60 months. So again, the offset of the equity that's coming back in those years has to be accounted for, because very quickly you're going to start spending more from a capital standpoint versus just going out and buying 1 or 2 cars a year. Then the other side of it is the operational side is going to come down as we implement the newer vehicles and we have a reduction in maintenance and fuel. A lot of numbers I just talked through there, tremendous amount of numbers. And again, this is something that from an ongoing basis, we're going to continue to work with you all, and things will change immediately. We're talking about the police Tahoes. There might be a 5-day window in August or September that those are open, right? And from that standpoint, they might take 6+ months to come in. So there's some flexibilities in here that we can bring to play, but that's our initial recommendation, if you will.
Eric, do you have that money in your budget?
Absolutely not.
So who's losing the vehicles? Because you're going from 49 vehicles down to 32.
No, that's simply the acquisitions that we're recommending from a replacement vehicle standpoint.
So
So
they
you're
only-
still gonna have vehicles in the fleet. They'd be your newer vehicles, under 100,000 miles of
Okay.
vehicles. But you're still gonna have the full amount of vehicles in the fleet.
So
we'd
if you
never,
go 32 just comes off the 49.
Correct.
All right,
that's just the replacement vehicles.
all right.
And that's where, from a public works standpoint, great question. We can certainly change that. That's just the initial wish list, kind of blueprint from a recommendation standpoint.
How much do you have in your budget, Eric?
I don't know off the top of my head. I would be guessing, and I don't wanna throw numbers out that I don't have an exact answer for. But we also need to think about dump trucks as well and our other equipment as well. There's just a wide area in public works. I believe in our budget meeting that we had, it was brought up of a group, and I'm just throwing names out here, it doesn't have to be this group, but a Baker Tilly or somebody like that to help us put a plan together so we know what we need to spend on a yearly basis and have some sort of a plan. Is this a good idea here? Absolutely, it'd be great, but we also have to look at our infrastructure and everything else as well, and then, we talked tonight on the mill levy and all that good stuff, so,
And I'd have to echo what Eric has been saying, the commission, especially this one here, has mentioned several times. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. You gotta have a plan going forward. Where are we gonna go? We can't be kicking the can down the road. So here's the time that we can actually sit down and say, have a conversation of what we need to do. And with Eric making the comment, yes, we have, Ben Hart with Tully Baker has already been in contact to adjust with my budget and stuff. So we'll have to look for the money, but there's money like in the jail sales tax, because it's part of operations and stuff for the jail and the sheriff's office. Part of these vehicles on the sheriff's side also includes the corrections for transport vehicles for inmates and stuff. From the jail to the courthouse, back and forth, or for transport from Fort Scott to Timbuktu because we had to pick up somebody to bring back. So this is to me, my staff, along with the numbers guy within the staff that works with us, they haven't really seen any hiccups that they could actually identify to say, hey, this isn't right. But I think it's a good start. It's where we need to start, and we need to think about, okay, how do we get this moving forward? And I think it addresses all your needs of people that have said here in regards to, give me a plan, where's it going, how's it gonna work, and so on and so forth. I think I met that. I hope I have.
So this contract, is it a 1 year, 5 year?
So the master agreement that we would ask you to authorize and approve, there's no financial binding essentially behind that. That's just an indefinite agreement that allows us to do business essentially. I'm
Right.
no way attorney, but that's kind of the general language, right? The contractual piece would be on a per unit basis. Okay, so if we do a shared vehicle at 60 months, or we do a public works vehicle at 24 months, that specific vehicle would have its own lease schedule that would act as the contractual piece from a financial perspective. Meaning, if we do these 32 vehicles, just hypothetically, and 2 years down the road, you don't like me anymore, you don't like Enterprise, whatever it be, and we need to get out of this partnership, we sell those vehicles, we pay off the remaining balance, we extend them to zero, you can get out of the partnership at any time. It's just the contractual piece on that per unit basis.
And there's no fees or anything like that for them to sign on to get this
But-
moving forward.
Yeah, so let's say we, for whatever reason, because, we don't have a crystal ball in front of us, and we'll probably won't be commissioners in 5 years, whatever, but the point here is there'll be new leadership and
Yeah.
things can go astray, and
Yes.
my thing is like, okay, let's say, Patrol 1 goes down, or we're gonna sell it, but we're in a negative equity, and we want out.
Yeah.
So the county's gonna be on the hook for that negative equity.
Yes, again, if you don't need the vehicle,
No, what I'm saying is like, if the county gets to a point, future leadership gets to a point where like, you know what, this is not cost effective for the county, it's not a good deal.
Sure.
They want out, and you just stated there is a vehicle, no pun intended, but there's a means for us to get out of,
Yeah.
of the partnership.
Yeah.
But I just wanna be clear
Right.
and put it on tables, like, if there is negative equity, it's gonna be on the county that pays for the negative equity.
It is, and
Okay.
there's a couple, you're 100% right.
I'm
But-
not trying to poo-poo your
No,
pitch, I'm
no,
not. I'm just-
I respect that, and I agree with you. The equity is yours, positive or negative.
Right.
Now, if that is a concern to you all, we have mitigation variables that we can do. We can put down payment down of whatever you want. I can do 10, 20, 30, 50%,
Right.
and we can roll equity, we can bill out the equipment. We have ways to mitigate that risk, okay? What I do assure you, though, there is very rarely, almost, I'm not going to say never because your point's very valid, but it's very rare that our government agencies are in a poor equity position. Again, going back to the buying power of the government agencies, okay? But I would elaborate a little bit further. I appreciate the team. I know what you're talking about because I've been doing this about 10 years and I'm 80% government in the partnerships that I am starting. And your point is accurate from the standpoint, people change very often, right? I've experienced that in entities around here where a new sheriff comes in or a new commissioner comes in, whatever that looks like. And I respect the team for the process that they've gone about this. There's some elected officials that, hey, let's get this thing going, let's sign here, and let's get this thing rolling. I appreciate that we're in front of you right now, and I appreciate your time and everybody's time because I think this is the right way to do it. And there is tough conversations. There's pros and cons to everything, of course, right? But at the end of the day, in my experience, if we do it right on the front end, we continuously bring the data and the analytics back to you all. We work with them from a budget preparation standpoint. From a long-term standpoint, we're going to have data. We're going to have relationships. Not everybody's changing at the same time, right? So from that standpoint, we're going to have those relationships that we can help you over the years, and we're going to bring that information back to you on such a regular basis. There's going to be relationships that are formed. And that's honestly why we have the local in-person type structure.
So, like, you know, we were talking earlier tonight about mill levies and that. So we do have a budget advisory committee. Did you guys, when you guys talked with them, did you mention?
They asked what we need, Carolyn, it was for cars, and of course, the mandated radio system. And one of the things was statutorily required. Commissioners are required to provide patrol
Right.
vehicles for the sheriff's office to perform their duties as law enforcement officers. So there's the statutory backing on that. But we had talked to Carol about that. We're still gonna go back and talk to Carol in detail a little bit more whenever she decides to have that, once at a meeting. But no, those are one of the,
Did you talk to your person?
We did talk
Josh?
a little bit with Josh, but Josh came forward with that we need to get a utility or a financing firm of some sort to help us be able to put this plan together. Because like I said before, we not only have these fleet vehicles, we have the big iron, we have the dump trucks, we have all the
Right,
different,
right.
that we need to actually have a plan to try and get everything put
And
together.
does Enterprise do like bigger equipment?
Yeah, so in here we've got 3 Max that we're still kind of working through. We've got 9 Silverado chassis, 3,500 chassis that all have flatbeds, 80-gallon fuel tank on the back, toolbox, strobes. We've got a noxious weed truck, a dump with snowplow, so all that. So we work through as much as possible.
Nothing on the dozer side?
No,
or-
no, we didn't do
So
any
we
of
had
that
to
stuff.
work on some. Mr. Motley?
Do you mind if I just weigh in on this?
No,
Please.
please.
Full-
This
full
is our
disclosure,
chairman of
My
our
first job
advisory
out of
committee.
school was with Enterprise Leasing.
Love that.
Yeah.
So,
he sold.
yeah,
He's born in 2008.
yeah, 19 leasing is a fantastic deal. The more the item that's being leased is a commodity because of the buying power. I mean, we are not, the county's not in the car business and really have no business being in the car business because we don't know much about cars. It works less well for lower volume items like bulldozers Mack trucks and things like that because they're less of a commodity. And I think this speaks to what we're talking about, a program for maintenance and planning that just hasn't occurred. And if you have a 5-year lease on a vehicle, that's all taken care of. And it'd be pretty rare that you'd want to exit that kind of agreement unless enterprise leasing is, you know, falls into disrepute. But they, obviously, as old as I am, they've been around for a while and they
Right,
have a great
right.
reputation. So they understand and know cars. They can buy cars a lot better than we can. They can maintain them a lot better than we can. And so if it's a commodity, this makes perfect sense. I would tend to steer away from it with larger equipment.
Okay, thank you.
Anything I say inaccurate there?
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like I said, the data analytics in regards to the vehicles and stuff is one of the most important things. Trying to decide, okay, we need to start
Right.
looking at getting rid of cars and buying
Yeah.
something else, so. But,
I agree. When we talked before and you showed the list, I was amazed that you guys are running what
and
you got.
you know, with him,
Yeah.
is it really part of his job description? He's a law enforcement officer,
Right.
not a comm controller to go
Right.
chase maintenance
Right.
tickets around and stuff like that. That's not his job.
Worked his way into being a
But-
detective, right?
Yeah.
Having
No,
to find
no,
all
no,
that stuff.
Hold on. Slow down. Slow down. Take that out of the notes. That is not part of the minutes. So, but anyways, yeah, I agree. This is probably one of the best things that we have come up with, and I'm glad we actually met to get this program going. And like I said, with Ben Hart, with Tilly Baker, kind of pushing this too, like Mr. Motley, who requested, you know.
Right.
I think it's a win-win for everybody. And I know that's a lot of information, a lot of numbers being
Yes.
pushed this morning or this evening.
Yeah.
But I don't see that there would be a problem for Kenneth to come back in a few weeks with some questions. So I know everybody here at the table is gonna have some questions. I know
Right,
you will.
right, right.
My
As we
biggest
get
question,
deeper-
Sheriff, is Eric said it's not in his budget. Is it in yours?
Well, we're still working with Ben.
Okay,
So like I said, there's other resources that Ben had mentioned, and
okay.
that's something that the commissioner needs to decide on, which resources you wanna go to. Part of that is the.
So the question I have is, you mentioned that, you're talking 2026 budget or this budget?
The budget we're getting ready to write?
It's 26, you know, we actually definitely need, you know, the cars, cause I think you said we replace 2.7 cars a year, I think. is what-
As a whole with these
Yes,
49.
Yes, you know, we just had a vehicle that was, totaled back in April. And last year, we had was it last year or the year before, we had a vehicle that was totaled because of a deer strike. You know, we just have vehicles because they get up there in age, and when the insurance comes in and says, okay, you're paying more, that's not right, it's time to get rid of it.
Right.
So,
The one thing I'll elaborate there on a little bit, on the public works side, that's a lot of vehicles compared to what they've historically done. And that's a lot of vehicles in general, right? That's 21 units. And, you know, again, that's just a recommendation, but there's a lot of aftermarket equipment that comes with that as well. So I agree with you. That is a huge change in philosophy. The one thing that I want to assure you on is whatever the budget is, we can work with those numbers. And then immediately, we're going to set our meeting cadence to help start predicting and planning for the following budget year. So whatever you guys land on this year from a budget standpoint, we just wanted to bring this forward as our recommendation and then work together as a team across the board. And again, I'm already met with Ben. I'm happy to meet with whoever that be as many times as we need to establish this. But really, that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're going to continuously do this with you and for you. And as this partnership develops, the more and more data that we're going to collect. So I just would urge you to take these numbers with a grain of salt and know that this is just kind of big picture if you went with the full
Yeah.
recommendation.
And like Sheriff Martin said, we'll probably want you to come back.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yeah, that's one of my-
especially when we get deeper into the budget.
yeah, and that's something else I was gonna add. Of course, I'll get with him, find out what his schedule's like in the next 2-3 weeks. 'Cause like I said, there'll be some questions that'll come up. But the one thing that's really important, and I don't wanna say that I got burned on this, I kinda did get burned on it, is that there's only a time when a manufacturer has their window open to order cars. It can be,
Right.
you know, you can have Ford will open up their window for ordering cars and it will last 3 days. You might have Chevy, that might open up their window and they'll have it open for 10 days. You never know what the manufacturer what they're gonna do. And like I said, a couple of years ago, I went to the commission, matter of fact, it was the deer strike totaled, went Monday to, get approval to order a car because I got the approval to go there. On Tuesday, picked up the phone, go ahead and order the vehicle. Well, the window of opportunity closed that Friday prior to the commission meeting. So I didn't have that opportunity to open that. So he will pay attention, I will pay attention, they have more notice of when the windows will close. And he'll pick up the phone and say, hey, it looks like they're opening it up on this date, and it's only 4 days, 3-day opportunity. We might have to have a meeting or bring it back up and say, what do you wanna do?
So, do you guys, all right, so you're going through fleet to get these vehicles from the manufacturers. So are you pre-purchasing this and then reselling them to the municipalities?
Effectively.
Okay, so all right, so basically, you're gonna project, let's just throw a number out there, 1 million units of Ford F-150s or Tahoes, whatever that may be, and you're gonna purchase that based upon the analytics you collected from all the municipalities. Correct?
No, similar, but we are actually speccing them with the entity.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, you're not only buying just Tahoes, you're also buying
Oh, yeah.
Expeditions, you're
Yeah.
buying whatever.
Buy everything.
Durangos,
Yeah.
okay? So what I'm saying is, you have a lot somewhere, or in several places where if Sheriff Martin needs 4, you're gonna pull 4. If Sheriff Smith from wherever wants 5, you're gonna pull 5.
So we do have pools of vehicles, both
Okay.
with our inventory and from our aftermarket vendors. We have a significant amount of vehicles on the ground. Typically, the way the process works is we sit down, we spec that vehicle out, we figure out what aftermarket is, we order that vehicle goes through a production channel, order received, scheduled for production, delivered to the dealer. We'll drop ship it to a local dealer that's closest to you, or we'll drop it ship to an aftermarket vendor that is going to upfit that vehicle. One of the benefits of having us handle the logistics, number one, we're not charging you anything more for the aftermarket whatsoever. We're just handling the process and paying for that. You don't pay a dime for the vehicle or the aftermarket equipment until after it delivers. So if we order that when Sheriff's Tahoes open up, we can order that vehicle if the budget's approved, get that vehicle ordered. There is a significant amount of time for a Chevy Tahoe pursuit vehicle right now. We get it upfitted, and then if you need it January 1st, we can drop it off on January 1st type deal. So that's, long-winded there, but that's essentially the kind of, strategic planning that we're gonna do to get Sheriff his need.
So here's a realistic thing that we're facing with right now. Had a vehicle that was totaled in April. 2 weeks later, it was approved to order a new vehicle for whatever dollar amount. That vehicle will not be completed or ready to go until the end of July. So you have April, May, June, end of July, you got 4 months right there.
Right.
So that's basically what he's.
So in full disclosure, my first day here, I interviewed the sheriff, and we did talk about this, and this is kind of like, because I come from the military and this is the model we use. I also came from GSA. This is also the model we use. So I understand how fleet management, I understand all that. I don't understand the nuances of LEO vehicles.
Sure.
We don't deal with that. But I think in the overall, the macro, it looks right. The micros were gonna be no money, and that's gonna be Mr. Motley and his group. Make sense? Because when it's all said and done, this is very, very good. I like this. It gives us a plan of action. It gives us a pathway forward to manage it. However, I only wanna say this to the two of you. Past commissioners have done what they've done. I refuse to do that. I refuse to have my decision have these ramifications that are gonna haunt us in the future. Make sense? So whatever decisions we make at the behest of these individuals here, I say that's great, but keep that in mind, all right? I just don't want this to come back and bite us. Yes, sir.
So I think Budget Advisory Committee would be more than happy to just take a look at this and
Right.
give you our opinion on this, if we could have a couple of presentations. But I guess, to your point, Commissioner, that the commission has to avoid making decisions on how much money it's gonna cost them this month you have to look at this program on a
Right.
4, 5, 6
Correct.
year horizon.
Correct.
And say, what's it do over that period of time?
Yes, sir.
Transitions from ownership to leasing is always unwieldy, and you're not gonna save money immediately. And that's the hazard of the past commissioners robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're in a position where,
Right.
"Ah, gosh, can I bite this bullet this month?"
Right.
So, but we've got to start thinking long-term for what's best for the county and not what's best for the county today or tomorrow.
And I feel much better about what you're saying, sir, because we have you and the team. We have other teams that we brought to the table, and it's not just the three of us. It's a community involvement. Make sense?
Yeah.
Because there's people at this table who's gonna be here a lot longer than the three of us.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I meant when I said earlier, our committee is here to serve you. We don't have an ego in the whole thing.
yes, sir.
We're just giving you information.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The only other thing that I'll say, because I think that's a very valid point, is the relationships. We have been doing this for a very long time,
What do you say that?
well, you said you started with enterprise leasing. That's where we started. Enterprise was on the leasing side in the basement of a Cadillac dealer in St. Louis, right? So from that perspective, that foundation is really what we believe in as well, and it's the partnership and the relationship. We have a self-fund model. We have an option for you to run the vehicles as long as you want, but I truly believe that the philosophy and where you guys are looking to go is what we can bring to the table, and we will be here as many times, me on the front end and then my team moving forward, as many times as the staff needs us here, the budget committee needs us here, you need us here. I'm an hour and a half down the road, right? And that's what we're here to do. So again, all these numbers are great, that's very important, but what I truly sell as a salesman is the partnership and the relationship and our team of people that we're going to bring to the table, and I'm very confident in all of that. So again, I'm happy to work through whatever process we need to here, and adjust these numbers to get within your budget and get where we need to be from a budget standpoint. But that's really what I wanted to share with you, is the philosophy of our team, our people, and the resources we can bring.
But in the basement of the Cadillac dealer.
That's where it all started.
Basement.
I was
Still.
not there that day.
At what point do you lock in the value of money? At the lease or?
So at time of delivery, so if interest rates were to go down, that's when, or up, that the day, yeah, of course, that's the one variable cost, is
So
that it's fluid
they
and
take
still
a
a
60-month lease, at the time they take the 60-month lease, you factor in the value of money.
We do,
then?
it's locked in at that point in time. There's always an option to refinance or sell a vehicle or
Or goes
whatever.
down.
Yeah, right, but if we lock it in at a good time, there's pros and cons on both sides, but very, very good point.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, I know I took a lot of it, thank you.
Appreciate it. We're gonna take a 5-minute recess.
Thank goodness, since I have to do Russian very bad.
Thank you very much for your time.
Busy this week and we'll look at next week.
Fine, sir. Oh, we doing a break?
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Are we doing a break?
Yeah.
What they say, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
I think it's the only thing that makes sense.
What?
I mean, getting started will be the hard part,
Yeah.
but once you get started, then you're on the train, you're on the train. You know what it costs you every year.
You're right.
I'll mail one of these, I've got a whole bunch more.
Did you make them?
Pick up.
Did you bind those? That's really nice.
I have a binder, if you want to borrow it.
Cool.
You can put it right next to your tree hole.
Yes.
But I'll put one of these in the mail to Kate.
So they started forming these committees, which they were. So there's already, that's in the same course, and those are on tremendously, grand scale. That's
You know that red phone has not rung once.
It'd be cool if it did.
That's the one to the White House, right?
I guess he's not interested. Sure. He just impacted a lot of veterans today. The Supreme Court did. They basically overruled, and I haven't looked into details, but they basically overruled everything with the Veterans Appeals, Court of Appeals. They said they wipe them out. All their decisions are void.
On what appeals?
The Veterans Court, you know, they made a decision on Agent Orange.
Your
They
question
made a
been answered
decision
yet?
on the PAC Act. They made.
No,
the Supreme Court
I don't
said-
think it's gonna be on there.
Who did this?
The Supreme Court today.
That's why I asked on what appeals.
All right.
Details, but
Why would the VA, the Veterans Court? Because usually I thought the Veterans Court, are we talking about veterans? Maybe I'm confusing veterans with, because there's a court that takes care of, like if you get a court martial, you get a discharge, you go to that one.
Yeah, but that's
That's the appellate
that's
court.
enlisted, yeah.
Yeah, that's the appellate court, that's what I'm
hand that
thinking
back
of.
to her.
today's.
I guess you guys keep them.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go back in session. Department updates is, start with Eric. Is Jennifer here for the tax sale?
No, she
Ill.
is sick with COVID.
Huh?
She'll be out. She's
So we can
sick.
scratch that?
Sick.
Yes,
Okay,
she
so
is
we'll
sick.
scratch
She
that.
has COVID.
All right, so Mr. Bailey.
All right, Commissioner Tran, you had reached out on an asphalt question.
Yeah.
And this is the sheet that I handed out that we done. This is what has been approved to
You
do
don't
this
got
year.
an update
But you
on that
kind of
either,
wanted
do you?
an idea
On what?
on what
The
it would
asphalt
cost
plan?
to do a mile of asphalt.
Right.
So for 2 inches on 24-foot wide, that's a cost. KDOT standard says minimum of 6 inches of asphalt, so take that dollar times 3, gives you a ballpark. So you're gonna look around 300,000 minimum.
That's 24 inches wide, right?
Yeah, 24
24 feet wide,
wide.
okay, all right.
Right,
That's a pretty good price.
so
It was costing me $1 million,
that's what
$1 million a mile.
we can produce the asphalt for.
Yeah,
And I got those numbers as well whenever, but I knew you had asked for
Thank
some
you.
numbers there, so I wanna make sure you had that, so. Culvert permit, we have one permit for an Eli Yoder on Wagon Road. It's already been installed, or what have you, for your approval.
we're good.
Move that we approve covert application for Wagon Road, 205-31 Highway for Eli Yoder.
Second.
Tran,
Yes.
Milburn,
Yes.
Beerbauer.
Yes. And again, why do we do this on the culverts?
It is in the, I don't know if you say statute or what have you, but what has been adopted on the installation of the culverts that the commission will approve them. Yeah,
Okay.
so instead of doing it each time we get one, previous commission went to a monthly approval, so that
That's
wasn't.
Right.
Wasn't
right.
That's
here.
right.
I was just
Yeah.
wondering, I mean, if it was
That's
a
right. Thanks for
resolution
reminding me.
by us, by the commission, or if it, by a previous commission, or if it
Previous
was a
commission.
state
It was
law?
done in 2013,
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was a commission,
a commission approval, and that's when they
Okay.
went for,
we might
It
wanna
was
revisit.
2013, I thought it was, never mind.
No, I
that's when
mean-
the permits were brought into place. Yep.
So in 2013, they made it bi-monthly.
Yeah, I believe it's 2013.
But
I'm
it's a
pretty sure.
state law that we have to approve.
I don't know about the state law that you have to approve,
Okay.
but I know that it states in the permit that the commission will approve.
Okay,
So,
okay.
next one I have is for Crawcan. It's a utility permit. And just to kind of give you a general area, take the city of Hyattville and kind of make a 5-mile radius around, and that'll kind of cover their area that they're wanting to put their fiber optic in. So here's all their plans and what have you, and there's the map. I don't know if you want all that or if you just want the
Chair? Do you want
utility
the whole thing?
permit. Do you want all of this information here?
Did you look over it, Eric?
I kind of looked over the general area where they've done a
Okay.
lot of,
And I was right, and say it again, what,
It's Crawcan.
Crawcan. About a 5-mile radius of Hyattville. They're putting in fiber optic and what have you. And this is their permit that they've applied to be able to work in our right of way,
That's the same fiber optic they're putting all around.
all around the county.
is this is pretty close to the same area where we had the problem with the bridge and the overweight vehicles that gentleman thought to?
Yes, yep,
Was that,
yep,
okay,
kind of the same area. Yep,
same area, so, all right,
yeah.
I
I think
need
it'll
to
be
look at
very
the-
beneficial for for the citizens of the community to have the
Thank you.
opportunity to have Crawcan.
Right,
But it's completely up to you. And here is the map. You may want to send that around so that way you kind of see the. If you'll make a copy
I
of
did.
that, okay. You're gonna make me be responsible to get that back.
you
to
wanna
Becky.
look over it?
I give
real
it back
quick?
to her.
No, I will.
Okay.
Commissioner Milburn?
I will tell you, Crawcan's been very good to work with.
Right,
I can make a phone call and either to their contractor and or to Crawcan individual themselves and get very good response.
I move we sign the permit to allow Crawcan to put the
I'll
fiber
second.
in the right of way.
I'll second.
Milburn,
Yes.
Beerbauer,
Yes.
Tran.
Yes.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Got another utility permit request from a Caleb Jackson requesting to put 6 3-inch conduits, Schedule 40 PVC in the right-of-way coming out of Lynn County into Bourbon County. He is working with Lynn County to get the proper permits from Lynn County. This will be on 155th and Zinc, I believe 175 foot south, if you so choose to allow that. I will say they have crossed our road before and done exactly what they said they would do. They put the road back to existing condition and actually a little better than the way they found it, so.
And what is this one for, Eric?
It's for 6 3-inch conduits.
That goes back to Eric.
You need a copy of that as well?
Yes, I will get a copy.
Who's, what company is
It's-
utilizing this?
Caleb Jackson has applied for it.
And you said he's done this before?
Yes, they have.
Okay.
pass for the utility permit?
Pardon?
Did they pass?
No, they haven't yet.
Okay.
What is this for, Eric? The last one was for fiber. What is this?
I want to say this one could be possibly, if I remember right, reading through, it is for oil wells and what have you in the northern part of Bourbon County. And they're gonna have water, I believe it said on your permit on the,
Water, electric, natural gas?
yeah. And if you're unsure and you want to table it, I can have
Does
him
this
come in.
interfere with any landowner?
And it'll be in our
thing?
right of way.
So it's not gonna
It would
cross
be
onto
in
anybody else at
our,
all?
our right of way.
Yeah.
We can have him come in and visit with you. He was wanting to start the 21st, I believe. But that's completely up to you.
Sure.
Peter Jackson is in the oil and gas business and they're very rapid.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a leak?
Pardon?
Have you ever had a leak?
I have not.
We've never experienced a leak, an oil leak, gas leak, or anything like that from any of these.
Plenty
people.
of water leaks and sanitary
yeah.
sewer leaks.
Well, but none of that stuff.
We did experience natural gas.
Wasn't that just recently?
Yeah.
The dang that box up there.
I don't know how to turn that off.
Me
I don't
neither.
have a key to get in there.
His construction date is coming around. Did you see that?
Issues?
So he's doing an open trench, but he's gonna fill it back in. I'm assuming.
There's a lot.
More?
Yeah, there's more. That's the end of the checks, but there's
Oh.
other stuff.
Did you have any further discussion on this, Commissioner?
No, is this typical for us to do? I know
We have done
Crawford, they're going all over the place, but I've not seen this before.
We have done it before, so the precedence has been set.
Okay.
Well, is this a company doing this, or is this like a family doing this?
Do you know if it's a company or, I don't know the name of the company.
The Jackson family are incorporated, they had multiple corporations, but yeah, they've been in the oil and gas business for a long time.
Okay.
They're mostly in Lynn County.
And again, I will say, they did cross our road before and they did put it back to better than they found it.
I don't see any reason to say no.
I mean, if we've already done it.
Right. I motion that we go ahead and approve this.
A second.
Pure Power,
Yes.
Tran,
Yes.
Milburn.
Yes.
Let's just sign first. Then comes back.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
Thanks, sir. You betcha. There you go. Next what I have for you is we are ready to blast at Shepherd Quarry. Contractor will be here tomorrow to lay out our next blast, and then I'll have dates after that. So we have pretty well cleaned up everything that we can clean up at Blake from previous blast. So we will be moving there. We're gonna try Shepherd Quarry in the middle of the summer when it's super dry, see if we can have a little better luck. We have tried previous years in fall, winter. It's been kind of wet and ran into a little bit of trouble with some dirt and what have you. So we're gonna try summer when it's dry and see what we can do on producing some road rock. Storm, flood damage, Mother Nature got us again this weekend. Had a few trees down. We're still working on cleaning up from FEMA, or I say FEMA, still cleaning up from the May 19th storm. Appreciate everyone being patient with us. I know we haven't got to some areas as fast as people would like to see us get there. So all in all, guys, we're doing the best we can with what we have. And whatever happened to the days of getting just a nice light shower, I don't know where that has went, but we are now into downpours and strong winds. So it is what it is, and we'll continue to clean up after it. So just giving you a heads up on that. Moving on. I received a resignation today from, just want to be transparent on this, from my assistant, Dustin Hall. He's going to be leaving the county. He's been with us for over 10 years. I just want to say publicly, thank you, Dustin. He reached out the very first day when I walked in and been by my side through thick and thin. And he and I have covered a lot of call-outs and tried to help on cut our overtime down. So in the middle of the night when things hit, we were the ones to get the call and go out. So wish Dustin the best. Also want to take this opportunity to thank not only Dustin, but to thank his wife and his family, because it takes a toll on the family. When you're getting called out, you miss out on some family activities. And when the winter storms are going on and your kids are wanting to have snowball fights and wanting to make snowmen and you're not there, it does take a toll on the family. So Dustin, I wish you the best. I know you're watching at home tonight, and we appreciate everything you've done for
Dustin.
Bourbon County. So any questions for me or comments or anything?
No, I'm sorry you lost your wingman.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
sorry,
Yeah.
we lost
Yeah.
him.
He's been really good.
He's been great. He has been great, and that is a wealth of knowledge that we are losing. So, with that, I got one last announcement, and I wrote you a letter and signed it here, and I'm going to read it to you. And it says, Dear Bourbon County Commissioners, please accept this letter as formal notice of my resignation from the position of Public Works Director for Bourbon County, effective Thursday, August 28th, 2025. It's been a privilege to serve the county and work alongside a team of committed to maintaining and improving our county's infrastructure and public services. I began to put a notebook together to pass along to my replacement so they can experience a smooth transfer of duties and have the phone numbers and contacts that they will need to be successful. I'm committed to ensuring a smooth transition and will do everything I can to assist in transferring responsibilities before my departure. Thank you for the opportunity to serve Bourbon County. Thank you, Commissioner Tran, for reaching out today. You've made this very hard. Thank you, Commissioner Milburn for reaching out as well. Thank you for all you've done for me from April, or when you took office moving forward. Wasn't an easy decision, but it's, I'm going to hand my letter in right now.
Wish you the best of
Yeah,
luck.
thank you.
Thank you for everything.
Yep, thank you. So, that's all I have.
Good luck.
Hey, I'm sorry to see you go.
Yep, I know, you made it very hard too.
You wanna table the next one? Or you wanna push through?
No. So, to bring stability, more stability to this county, I propose contractual services for payroll, employee benefits. Just this year, it moved to that office. We'll have a presenter here on the 21st. I gave you both a proposal.
Yeah, I got it. So we'll be tabling it till the 21st for the presentation.
I want to hear your thoughts.
I don't have an issue with it if it's gonna save us some money. That's what we need to look at, what they're offering us and what we pay out now, and whether or not it's gonna be beneficial for the county moving forward. So I would have to hear their presentation and see the cost analysis on it.
Is
I
that,
think it
isn't
saves
that part of
quite
it
a
in
lot.
here?
What's that?
Isn't it the cost analysis right here?
Yeah.
Does it have it compared to, I didn't look at it yet tonight, because we just got it. Does it have what, compared to the county cost?
Well, the county cost was in Susan's book here. Payroll and benefits, looks like 63,757 a year for us.
$63, you said?
Yeah. And this proposal for a budget request. It goes through and it shows when that came out of, or went into that office. Hold on, this thing's huge.
So what I'm saying, just off the top of my head, based upon the numbers you provided just now, that's a savings of 45 grand roughly? Is that what you're saying?
Can I ask a question?
I don't have a problem with
Yeah, I don't have a problem.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
If you're outsourcing, will they be taking the entire payroll, benefits, 941s, everything that we do in that office that has to do with payroll?
I'll ask them.
Okay, so and I'm asking because it's not just payroll we're doing, it's benefits as well, and those go hand in hand. I can't do anything when it comes to hours or anything, just these past couple months, we had a couple individuals out that aren't coming to work, so I have to send out how much they owe for benefits because they're not getting deducted. For example, Bobby Reed. He wasn't getting.
You can't do that.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't. I understand what you're saying.
Sorry.
You can't say that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so,
sorry.
no, sorry, no names.
That's all
So, for example, there's a lot more that comes into this. So if you want to outsource, that's perfectly fine. But I think you really need to look down to what exactly they're going to be doing. Which it comes to hours, when it comes to benefits, when it comes to quarterly reports, and everything in between. Also, if you're outsourcing, you should probably have someone here in office. I mean, we outsourced IT and my computer was down for a day and a half and that was not good at all. So that's my position, so I just want to speak on it on my behalf, which, like I said, you guys decide to outsource, that's your own decision, but you need to look into every single detail that we do. And you said liaison earlier, you know, Commissioner Milburn would be the clerk or however we put it. I feel like that would be pretty well, because then that liaison can speak on, okay, well, the clerk's office and I do so much in this, this, and this, and it kind of breaks it down for you.
Gotcha.
So, but I think that if you're going to look into it, you look into everything that I do, and we can speak, and I can break everything down to make sure that that is covered on this outsource as well.
Yes, ma'am. Do you have anything else to add, Commissioner Milburn?
What's that?
Do you have anything else to add?
I'm just looking for that doggone paper. I might have set it to the side. Oh, here it is. So from what I understand, the CFO until this year did payroll. So it wasn't in that office before.
But it was in that office. I have been doing payroll since I started working here in February 2023.
And then the CFO position was divided among other elected officials, so we didn't actually save that money.
So, the reason for this proposal is to save the taxpayers' money.
That's right.
Because, was the CFO asking for anything else?
They're asking for another full-time employee in that office because the workload.
We don't have a CFO.
Well, we don't, yeah, now we don't.
Right.
On this budget request, they've asked for another full-time employee because the workload is too heavy in that office.
So what you're saying is,
This is a lot cheaper than another full-time employee.
and then that would,
And this is something that we can outsource. We're not reinventing the wheel.
And this is.
You're not reinventing the wheel at all, and outsourcing could be good as well. I'm not saying that it's not, but having an individual here on staff, people make mistakes, department heads make mistakes. There's hours that don't get put in, and I have to fix it on the back end. If you don't have someone here for these people to answer calls, to do whatever, you're gonna need that, and I do provide that. I'll get an email or a phone call from from an individual 5 or 6 in the morning saying our time clock's down. I get up, I wake up early. I go, I put it in, I let all the department heads know, this system's down, you know, and we move forward from it. We get it fixed and we move forward. Just this past week.
and correct me, I don't wanna put words in your mouth, Commissioner Milburn, but what I'm hearing right here is, you're not taking away the position, you're taking away the function.
Yeah, it'll be the clerk's decision where to put her money that she gets on her budget.
Okay. So you're proposing removing the function from the clerk.
So the budget, or the request that you were just discussing.
Yeah, you
about
got
a-
one too,
about
everybody
a
got
new-
one.
Okay. All right.
They were all in a red folder on everybody's little thing.
Yeah, I was looking at it right here. That's what, Do you have any other questions, sir?
No, I don't.
I think I understand.
I think it's worth listening to. I'm not sure, you know, that I'm gonna make a decision just based on what I see here. I wanna listen to them guys talk. And look at all the tangibles that she just brought up too. I mean, you gotta look at everything. I mean, I didn't see, I seen the numbers that you were talking about there. I had not looked over her budget yet, cause I thought, well, we're gonna be getting presentations from each person's budget, so I was not aware that she was asking for more
They
employees.
presented to the budget committee.
No, not to us.
Well, it was on YouTube.
So, if I may,
Mhm.
just because we're talking, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, may I? Okay, so, where's my pen? So right now you do, the clerk does payroll, right?
The clerk's office,
The
yes.
cl- I'm sorry, yeah,
Yes,
that's what I mean when I say that.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Does payroll, and then you do what else? Benefits?
Benefits, quarterly reports, workers' comp, FMLA,
Okay. Anything else?
the hiring process, once,
Onboarding, offboarding?
yes,
Cobra too.
Cobra as well. I just sent out some Cobras today.
Okay. So of these functions, what are the top two that take up the most of your time? I mean, what do you spend most of your time doing?
Benefits and payroll.
All right, we definitely have to listen. I mean, I don't wanna poo-poo the whole thing, I definitely want to hear it out.
And those two that are consistent that I work on every day are broken down. I mean, today's Monday, we had payroll on Friday, and if you go look at my board, it's half full of the things that I just received the past week, from terminations to, from things to having to send out Cobras for capers, and there's just like a list of different things that just break down into just the payroll section,
Right.
as well as just the benefit section.
Right. Is there anything else you wanna add?
I might come to the next couple of meetings to sit in.
You should. You should. Anything else, Chair?
We have,
Comments.
you did the responsibilities already. I
Yes, sir.
have some stuff that I would like to have added to the next meeting agenda. Board, assignments, review. We've got new commissioners. So we need to go look at all the boards that we're on and who's on what and look at that. The other one was, let me get back here to my notes. I want to go ahead and put animal shelter back on there again. I have something I want to add to that. And then we recently got a handbook from our HR department to review. I think we need to do a work session on that and discuss where we're going with that. So that would be between you guys. When do you want to do a work session?
My understanding was Dr. Cohen was gonna join us on that.
Yeah.
So is that work
Well,
session including?
he's gonna
including-
want our input.
Oh, yeah, I understand that, but I
So
thought
do
he
you
was
wanna
gonna
do
be here.
your own input and we all?
No. I think it's better we get together and talk about it, but I thought, is he gonna be here on a work session?
I didn't invite him on that one, but
Okay, all right. I have no issues with that, Chair. I
Yeah.
really don't, Chairman, I'm like.
I'm just saying is that maybe that way we're united as far as
Yes, sir.
what we give to him, make that process a lot easier.
Yeah.
But instead of three different opinions, but, I'm just saying, we could pick a date and a time for a work session to have that done. It could be before meeting, after meeting.
Trying to find my calendar. I know I did something with the photos.
We're kind of booking things up to the 28th, so why don't we do it on first week of August? First meeting of August, August 4th.
August 4th?
So we could add that. All right, so now, commissioner comments. Mr. Tran, your turn to go first.
Thanks. Hang on, let me write this down. I am sorry to see that Eric and his wingman are leaving. I am. I'm very,
You're in trouble.
I'm trying to see a positive in it, and I can't right now. You know, some in the community may think otherwise, and that's fine, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but to me, it's like, it's always been about building a team. It's always been about circling the wagons and getting all of us together to do what we need to do. I understand why they chose to leave. I'm not happy about it, but I understand. I think for far too long, and this has no bearing on those two individuals, but I think for far too long, the county has operated in a fashion where we haven't had standards, or the standards were there, but we never enforced or kept those standards up. So when somebody comes in and tries to enforce the standards, or at the very least, just some semblance of standards, I think there's a lot of pushback on that. And I've seen that time and time again in all the places I've worked, all the duty sections I've been in. And it's really, really hard. We have to form, we have to storm, then we'll norm and then perform. That's just how this is. That's how you build a team. And right now, we're storming. I'm not real keen on it, but you know, I'm gonna stay the course and do the best I can to build a team and build a consensus amongst all of us that work for the people, because that's what we do, we work for the people. Nothing said here, done here is personal. I have nothing in this is personal. It comes down to a simple thing. I want to give you what you need to do your job, but I cannot do it if we're just taking it from the taxpayers. They have paid enough.
Yep.
Now, that's not to say, to be fair, that's not to say that we can't revisit that, but I'm not willing to do the 62 and a half. I'm like, that's, I shouldn't have said that, but I did, and it is what it is. But I'm hoping we could find some way to give everybody what they need. And I do need, I said need, not want, because there's a lot of things I want and I don't get it. So, that's it. Thank you.
Commissioner Milburn?
Yeah, with those two resignations, I am fearful for our Public Works Department. I did know that they were both coming. I reached out to Dustin earlier. It is already too late. There's nothing we could do. We pretty well made our bed by bringing things back to them without talking to them first, again and again and again and again. Try to do the same for Eric, because you know there's a lot that they do that somebody can't just step into. This isn't something we can just contract out. So that's a huge loss, and I'm sorry for Bourbon County. Also, I'm not pleased with the current decisions that we're having to make on such short notice. However, I will not continue down this path to deficit. The Budget Advisory Board will evaluate spending The commission will evaluate spending, and we will decide a path forward that will be the least abrasive to our taxpayers. Citizens of Bourbon County, thank you.
I have no comments. So I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Sorry, I hit the hammer. You need to call it out.
Trey,
Yes.
Milburn. Yes. Beerbauer.
Yes.
I'm gonna need another binder, because I'm filling that one up.
Have a seat here, Mr. Silvers.